That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me Fuck all that shit, just let me go. Owers and tastemakers make us no chaser. Get the blood flowing like a fucking pacemaker. Cut the middleman and inhale the vapors. Madman, old 10 Don Drapers. Cut the jukebox on, make the woofers blow. We gon' sit here until all them heifers go. Holler at the tens and spend a little dough. Not on them, no, they can buy their own drinks. That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me fuck all that shit, just let me go.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wrestling Rundown, and I have no clue what episode title this is because I didn't look it up, so you can just look at the title of the video.
How do you do this every time?
Well, in all fairness, I didn't know I was hosting this time until like about 15 minutes.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's actually fair. Yeah, welcome to whatever episode number down below. Yeah, hi.
Yeah, I don't even know what episode number this is.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is your first episode, so this is episode number. This is episode number 1 for you.
Yeah, my first. Yeah.
In all fairness, James, too, it's become a gimmick at this point that I don't even know the episode.
Yeah, we might as well run with the gimmick, brother.
Yeah.
At this point.
I might hear you here for like the first half or whatever. Just put my insight on something, and then.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Which
anyhow.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Owen the Birdman Finch. Unfortunately, not the Wrestling Rundown champion that went to Steve Coakley, which is a shame, but whatever, it happens.
Oh, there you go.
And
can't wait to not see that belt in like 5 years.
I know. Remember his neighbor was supposed to come take the belt? Were you ever there for this conversation?
I do remember this conversation. Yes, I do. Then
there was something else that was.
He never came.
I don't remember there was something else that was supposed to happen that he said that never happened.
There's a lot of things that Steve Coakley promised that he can't keep. But it's okay. We love him.
So,
let me introduce the co-host at this point, who's recorded on his end. Introduce yourself.
Do I need to? You know my name. It's James E. Van Hebert. The person you love to hate, the person you love to love, the person you love to be. I don't care. You feel all those emotions probably when you hear me speak.
It's very mixed emotions.
Yeah.
Isn't that how we feel about wrestling as well? It's just very mixed emotions going on.
Yes.
So James, do you want to cue the guest? Because I bet this person.
Yeah, we actually have a guest for the first. There's a first time guest. This has been a long time. I feel like since we had a first time guest on the rundown. When was the last time?
I think Noah was the last. I think Noah or Colin or Chris Mace were the last ones.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we had a guest here. So
no, but actually, Nikos was the last one.
Was Nikos? Yeah, Nikos would have been the last one. So welcome to our newest guest, Moonlight Mirage.
Hi, I am the quote-unquote casual here.
Pretty much, you're the
this beforehand. I just kind of entered this wrestling scene probably back in February or March.
She just got her feet wet, and fun fact was because of our show, specifically the 8-hour Juggernaut. I think is when she started really getting into it, which is
really more or less started with the whole voice acting.
So there you go. I think that's pretty cool. So I'll take that. I'll take that badge of honor.
When we go off camera, you should tell me which character you voice act, so that way we're not breaking kayfabe.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Obviously, keep it on hush hush. Before anything, since this is your first time here, normally we save these to the end, but Screw it. We're gonna get to the we're gonna break out this graphic again, Owen. We're gonna get to the plug it.
Shall plug it.
Plug a plug. So, where can
I know the guy.
where can the people check you out on social media? What do you do?
Huh? Me?
Yeah.
When I'm sorry, I'm a little mixed. I don't really have much of a wrestling scene or discussion outside on social media, except YouTube. You know, Jeff Meacham Network or Meechem, whatever it's pronounced. I don't
well, I mean, even wrestling. It doesn't have to be wrestling stuff you do. You could promote the other stuff you do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in the esports scene actually.
Oh, good stuff.
Specifically, the Mario Kart scene.
Aw, you kidding me?
If anybody knows the name Triclop, that's me.
Oh, those are connected? Oh.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of your videos, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, on YouTube, I'm Moonlight Mirage. On Twitter, MK8 Triclop.
Well, look at that.
I play Mario Kart Wii as well. You know, don't let the username throw you off.
I genuinely had no idea. I thought you just wrote Triclops because you were you were a fan of Triclops. I had no idea you were the Triclops until you brought it up.
The one and only.
Hilarious. That's funny as well.
The one and only.
I actually, it's funny because I was binge watching a bunch of esport Mario Kart things, and your name was one of them. I forget who you fought though for the life of me. I don't know the lineup that you fought.
Was it Wii or 8?
I think it was one of the Wii videos because I was a huge Wii player, mainly because they had because I can't figure out the new stuff for the life of me. I can't
think of this. Think of Mario Kart Wii being like Super Smash Bros. Melee. It's no longer supported by Nintendo, but the fans are keeping it going.
Pretty much, yeah. That's a whole.
It's now been 8 years since the fan server called Wimfi has been up. It's actually lived out longer in Mario Kart Wii than Nintendo WFC. WFC was only ran for 6 years on Mario Kart Wii, despite having a 9-year run. It started in 2005, shut down 2014.
Wow, I feel old.
I know, I feel old. I remember my last race on the regular WFC, DL Stelfino Square. I got second place.
Wow. That's hilarious.
It was right before I had to go to school.
Well, so we don't lose the viewer about gaming talk, although definitely something we should talk about off air, because that's interesting to me. We got wrestling, so obviously there's so much that happened this week. Oh my
gosh! Over this last week,
probably this last month. Honest to God,
by far the biggest topic is Sasha Banks and Naomi.
By far.
Yeah, I'll talk about it real quick. So I'll kind of give the backstory, so that way everyone kind of knows it. I mean, everyone knows at this point, but I'll just kind of, since I haven't talked about it yet, I'll just kind of talk about what happened. So last week on Raw, pretty much what happened is there was supposed to be a 6-pack challenge. It was supposed to be Sasha Banks, Liv Morgan, Doudrop, Naomi, Becky Lynch, and Asuka. And I would say an hour, maybe not even, into the show. Basically that match was called off. You know, what happened pretty much is it was announced that Sasha Banks and Naomi walked out of the show. They went in there, dropped their tag team championships onto John Laurinaitis' office desk and just left the show, so they had to change the match to a one-on-one match, on the fly. Yeah. And what's going on?
Yeah, just keep going. Just keep going on. Just keep going on.
Sorry, that just never happened before.
Yeah.
It was bound to happen because of that.
It's insane. I mean, this was completely out of character as well. They just left.
Yep.
And then
they were upset with something, I guess.
Owen, you could get into why they were upset if you could as well.
Yeah, there was many reasons why it's been speculated on, but I think I'm just gonna go with the most notable reasons. one of the reasons which has been disproven since then was they thought one of the workers in the match was safe, or was unsafe. I mean, Sorry, I've worked all day, so I'm tired.
Yeah, well, no, not even just one of the workers, by the way. Both, I think, and by the way, welcome to the group, since I'm going to be bringing them up. Neo Reality Entertainment, otherwise known as Eric Brown from ATW View. He could actually probably confirm this better than I could, but I believe it was WWE basically indirectly mentioned Nikki ASH and Nikki Cross. So the whole duo between the two, I think, was the people that were quote unsafe, unquote.
You mean you said Nick? You said two of the same people. I think you meant Nikki ASH and
Nikki ASH. I'm sorry, yeah, I'm tired as well. Nikki ASH and I refuse to call her by that dumb name. I'm gonna call her
Piper Niven.
Piper Niven. So those two names, those two people were the people mentioned.
Yeah, those are the two, and they were the ones that Sasha and Naomi were like, "Can we work with them and make our titles mean something?"
Yeah,
I think it's like no.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. The fact they're not getting any respect from the company as tag team champions, which isn't even a competed title. It's really just Sasha Banks and Naomi. Anyone else that's been trying to take that title on is very, very far out. Last time, WrestleMania 38, Sasha Banks and Naomi winning that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually had 4 teams.
How many women's tag teams are there that you can think of? Well, Sasha Banks and Naomi, they just walked out. Apparently, they put their belt on John Laurinaitis' desk.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, and that it's not just me saying that, because I think it's going to have a lot more weight that a woman saying it instead of just a guy saying, oh, there's barely any tag teams. Because apparently that freaking means anything. Just use your freaking eyes, by the way. Let's talk about the match at Mania, because you mentioned it. How many teams are on there? We had 4 teams. 2 of them have broken up, right? Yes. Selena and Carmella broke up, and Liv Morgan and Rhea broke up for obviously better paths. And that leaves you 2 teams just in that match.
Well, there's been some updates about the tag team tournament they're doing.
I want to hear this.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, they basically said, okay, we don't have any tag teams. We can admit that. Can we call the ones from NXT up?
Yeah, we literally were saying that was going to happen before we even went on the air, is that they were going to call up even the NXT tag team champions. Which, by the way,
by WrestleNews.co, WWE has plans to bring up NXT wrestlers to compete in the women's tag team title tournament.
By the way, so much for that just being your developmental brand anymore, huh? It's almost like you never should have created the damn women's tag titles in NXT to begin with and done what was recommended, and that's combine all the women's divisions together to make one single tag division.
Yeah, let's say this. Yeah. So Carmella and Queen Zelina break up. Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, obviously they're going to break up. That leaves Natalya and Shayna Baszler. Because now Sasha Banks and Naomi walk out, and Michael Cole's like, oh, they've upset us, so they're being suspended indefinitely.
Yeah, well, oh my god, that was so uncomfortable
just leaves that
to watch.
One single team. And they're still going to try to get a championship going.
Yeah, can we...
You know what?
There's been an update on that, on Michael Cole's statement.
Before you make an update on that, Eric, Owen, you were saying, go ahead.
I want to talk, just a couple of things I want to bring up. I felt bad for Pat McAfee when Michael Cole had to make that announcement, because you could tell he was just not comfortable with Michael Cole making that announcement.
Cole wasn't, and I'm not 100% that Corey was either. Like that was so uncomfortable. Like, if you are a wrestler of any kind, that is eggshell levels of bullshit, like that you have to walk on every day if that's what's going on. That's
now
ridiculous.
The fact Michael Cole just has to publicly announce it from the desk.
Yeah, like
not just deal with it behind the scenes and just update it, just give everyone an update on like social media.
You haven't seen the way they treated their biggest money draw, Austin in 02 then, because they did this exact same thing when he walked out over creative differences.
Or CM Punk in 2014.
CM Punk 2014, yeah.
Here's the
They didn't
thing.
even address that. They just were like,
Sasha-
okay, we'll fire him on his wedding day.
Well, they did address it. Remember at Payback 2014 when Stephanie McMahon,
It was more like they were referencing him more than just taking a direct shot at him. They were just doing it to tell a story.
Remember, Eric, that was a full-on direct shot, if you remember.
Yeah,
the
that was.
verbiage. Because they were getting Punk chants for months, and they were trying anything they could to shut it down, even if that meant directly mentioning him.
Yeah.
So I know nothing about Austin and O2, but I'm just saying, from you can tell, Sasha Banks and Naomi walking out, that's going to have a lot more weight. Again, what other women's tag teams still exist that haven't broken up yet? WrestleMania 38, the only one left would be Natalya and Shayna Baszler.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just give the. I mean, I wish they didn't have to strip Sasha Banks and Naomi of the title and just.
Well, I mean, let's call it as it is. They didn't strip them of the title. They practically relinquished the belts. They practically just said, "Hey, head of talent relations, fuck you for calling us childish. We were trying to do this the cordial way. We've been trying to do it the cordial way for months, for weeks, especially after we won the belts. You refused to listen, so fuck y'all's with done."
Yeah, there's just so much different language that's being. Some people refer to it being stripped, and then you have they actually just gave it back.
Pretty much.
Like, no, y'all obviously don't care about women's tag team. Y'all aren't taking us.
They don't care about the women.
Seriously, y'all aren't taking this championship seriously. You go give the belts to someone else.
Moonlight, welcome to the WWE. They don't give a shit about the women's division, period, which is half the problem.
So that's probably why Austin and O2, probably wasn't as heated when they walked out.
Oh no, it was just as heated. It just it's just it wasn't as big of a blow as this is. This is
a blow. No, this is a blow.
Anyway, you were saying,
Absolutely.
Owen. Go ahead, Owen. You were saying.
But yeah, this situation's just really weird too, just because WWE actually mentioned it on TV, which is very rare that happens. The only closest thing that it came to was when Dean Ambrose wasn't going to re-sign his contract, and they kept mentioning it. But this is like even taking it to like another level. Usually, if somebody walks out, or if somebody gets fired or suspended or whatever in real life, they never really mention it. They just kind of, don't mention it.
Yeah.
But I think the hands were kind of forced that they had to mention it.
They didn't really have a choice after that. Really, you're
because they already announced the match and everything, so they kind of
Yeah. Well, which is on them too, by the way, because there were hours they could have just rescheduled that match anyway. Eric, you said you had an update on Michael
Two
Cole.
updates actually. There's been a debate going around that Sasha and Naomi may have actually left before the advertisements came out.
Yep.
For that big 6-pack challenge, which means false advertisement 3.0.
Which how many times?
Boy.
How much?
WWE.
How many times have they done that?
A lot of companies.
They did a pay-per-view surrounding Bait and Switch.
Yeah, they did a whole pay-per-view with this.
Recently, SmackDown, they have Edge headlining that.
Yeah, well, there's been.
It wasn't really that. It wasn't even. I don't even think it was a champion title.
Yeah.
Like, bro.
The update is
that. Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair. They're going for a champion title. That one was really hyped up.
Yeah. Well, there's been an update regarding. So y'all noticed Pat McAfee was like, oh god, this is acting all uncomfortable. If you have not seen his podcast, he just went on there and confirmed he had no prior knowledge that was going to be announced.
I can see that, and I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised at all.
I wouldn't have anybody for that either.
It's already been known by Pat McAfee on his own show that like he is not privy to anything by design, which is partly a blessing and a curse, probably. Yeah. In a lot of cases.
Because he can just. I feel like he can enjoy doing the job that he's doing more. I think if he's not in the know on this stuff.
This is a little. Trust me, I think Punk said it best on the podcast. Notches of frustration on your belt, right? The belt of frustration, right? this is notch number 1 for McAfee. Actually, this is probably notch number 2, considering the whole.
He almost quit during WrestleMania kickoff.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So this is notch number 2.
Yeah.
More of these notches, and you could lose another big crossover star. Which, I mean, at this point, a lot of people are going to be like, well, they should be concerned for that. And I would have said that probably like 2 years ago. And I would have told myself 5 years ago, hey, idiot, they're not going to care because they're making money hand over fist by these networks that they conned out of money.
You can see the pressure that's coming from this WWE onto the actual wrestlers.
Yeah, I mean, and they can get away with it, too. They can get away with it. Yeah. That's the sucky part, is that no matter what they do, good, bad, and different, they will get the money regardless now. It is practically guaranteed by Peacock and Fox.
All their events are pay-per-view as well. They're going to get a lot of money from that, too.
Yep, true.
Yeah, and they just announced their contractual obligation Crown Jewel on November 5th.
Yeah, which is, again... Which I can't...
It's really sucky, too. So you have to pay just to watch just one event.
Yeah.
You can't
wait until they get on Disney. Wait until they get on Disney Plus, where you have to pay the subscription and then the pay-per-view. That will be fun.
That too.
Can't wait for that one. We'll get to that one.
Disney will probably do that too.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
There was another update regarding Sasha and her frustration with WWE, especially. She was okay. Here's what, and try and think for a second. Does this sound familiar? Sasha was heading into WrestleMania, and they were building up the idea that she was going to fight Charlotte at WrestleMania. And then they're like, no, we changed plans. We're going to do us a solid and run with the tag team belts with Naomi. Okay, she does that. She's working to get the tag team belts to be relevant somewhat. Then they're telling you, oh no, you got to build up the singles division. We got to build up the champions.
Right after they win the titles. Continue.
Yeah, and then they were told to fight Bianca and Ronda, and Charlotte and Sasha was reportedly mad that Ronda just was like, I worked for a year to get this main event match with Charlotte. Ronda just comes in and that's it. And I was like, let's see. Unexpected announcement. You built us up, then you go ahead and switch it. That reminds me of when The Rock came back and CM Punk was out of WrestleMania.
Say what you will about, and listen, a lot of people have criticism for Tony. God knows why half the time, but a lot of people have criticism. The one thing you can't criticize him on, he doesn't bait and switch his employees like that. Name one guy that came into the company that was from the WWE or from anywhere, third party wise, and didn't deviate from the plan once.
I mean, the only situation,
belt on Hangman.
The only situation you can give is maybe like, but this wasn't completely their fault, was when they had to switch out Heyman and Page with Christian Cage, but that was a COVID thing, so you can't really blame
them. Like, obviously there are going to be outside factors that just force their hand, but
but Tony Khan was like, oh, we got this big plan for you. No, we don't, but we're going to do it. No, we're not.
Yeah, like Vince did.
It's like you're going back and forth. They're like going back and forth, like, do we or do we not?
I mean, AEW could have done it because when Bryan Danielson came in, they easily could have just had Omega keep the belt and have Danielson beat him for it, but they didn't do that. They still went with Heyman anyway, so they easily could have done it.
Here's the thing. Heyman was originally supposed to win it all out, but they had to change it because, he has a kid. Okay, we'll do the story around that, and then we'll have him off for a while. Then we'll bring him back and finish the plan. Instead of just us like, throw it into the garbage. He has a child now. We can't do it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, too, because, like, the thing about Tony is, like, I'm pretty sure he had a plan already in place for Hangman's title run before all these guys came in. Before the Keith Lees got fired, before, all these WWE guys got fired, before the purchase of ROH, right? He didn't have... He went with the plan he had already, and then added to the plan from there. I believe the first person he was going to fight was Archer, and that changed to Danielson, and then he went right to Archer. So he kept alternating from his original plan to the next plan. Whereas WWE is like, WWE be like, alternating our plan?
Yeah.
Nah,
like
change the whole thing on the flyer. What alternate plan? There's no in-between with them.
And here's the thing. So we were all surprised that WWE went all in and unified the tag team belts, right?
Oh my God, we'll get to that. But Owen, you were trying to say...
I actually have an update on that.
Yeah, Owen, you were trying to say something. Then we can get to the update.
I was gonna say too, you could make the argument with the Heyman Page thing when they had to switch him up for Christian Cage. It actually made the storyline. They actually made the storyline better. It actually worked out better in the long run. Yep. It made us want to see Page win the belt even more.
Yeah, 100%. Continue, Eric.
Okay, so we saw how the show ended. I'm gonna give you one on YouTube. I'm not watching it. And Roman and the Usos destroy RK Bro. Apparently that was always the plan. The ending was always the plan. Originally it was supposed to be a DQ finish, but Vince made the call last minute. It was like, nope, we're unifying the titles. Wait, what?
Yeah, I'd be like, why would you plan a DQ for that match?
Yeah, well, this is. I'm glad some. I mean, listen, a broken clock's right twice a day, but still, I wonder if.
I know someone who isn't broken, that's broken, but definitely will not get it right.
Yeah.
I heard a story. You probably didn't hear this, James. There's been a apparent leak regarding Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, we'll get to that. Actually, hold off on the Ric Flair a little bit because we do.
I haven't heard about that.
You don't want to.
I have gotten an update on Rick Boogs. However, back at WrestleMania 38, he was in the opening match, which was the tag team.
Yeah, the one with the Usos in it. Yeah.
Yes, the Usos versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs. And not that far into it, Rick Boogs suffered an injury. A legit injury, in fact, that actually required surgery. So it was his right knee, and he is recovering really well. It still could be at least 6 months to a year until he can go back and wrestle again because he strained his knee, and that knee's going to be really important.
Yeah.
And I quote, just the other day at physical therapy, they said you could probably start easing into the Airdyne bike. You know what I did today? I hopped on the Airdyne bike. Not even in physical therapy. I did it on my own. I pushed it, and it was feeling tight. Eventually I loosened up, and eventually I was getting in the groove. I was feeling good, I was moving, and I went 5 miles.
That sounds like...
That's an update from Rick Boogs. He's getting on that bike, he's making moves.
I hope he's not overdoing it and straining himself. That's my only hope, is that
It could be worse. Doing really well.
You were saying, Eric, go ahead.
I was going to say, it could be worse. Remember when Roderick Moss came out and said, oh, I have an ACL tear. I'm going to keep wrestling in the ring. I know that's a dumb idea, but I'm going to keep doing it because I want to be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right. So, yeah. Is there any other thoughts we want to add before we move on to the... I don't even know what we have for a format because originally Noah was supposed to host this show, so we're kind of going back and forth as it is. Go ahead.
Well, before we transition into this second half or whatever, I probably won't be able to talk much about the second half. I pretty much said most of what I wanted to highlight.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm going to say. This is the WWE. You've got to start caring about your women's titles, your women's your belts. These women are coming out here to fight. It's not just a men-dominant sport. There are women that go out there and fight. There are women who enjoy watching WWE, AEW, which is any wrestling in general. If you go out on social media, those fans, they will treat this just like any other fictional story. Yes, it's scripted, but you have to remember, these are still real people, and injuries are also very possible. And when you're not
people have real emotions.
And when you're not treating these people like actual human beings that actually deserve to win these belts,
or just
you're gonna have to
be
Sasha
cared
Banks
about.
and Naomi
Yeah.
just walking out.
Love that it's not just me saying this, and we got casual fans saying the exact same complaints that we've had for how many years now, Owen, going on?
I think you and I have legit talked about this since we've met each other. Probably since we met each other back in 2015.
How long have you been complaining about this, Eric? For how long have you been a hardcore wrestling fan?
If I want to say, I think it started when Cena beat the Nexus.
So
yeah, that's when I started. Yeah, 2010.
So.
And I'll say one more thing. If you're gonna have people like them walking out, people love Sasha Banks. They love Naomi, but they really love Sasha Banks. You're gonna have these ladies walking out because they're upset with how they're being treated as champions of women's tag team. They have to relinquish these belts because they're unhappy with how they're being treated. You're gonna lose money. You're gonna lose fans.
You would think that, but as we trust me, I thought the same thing for years until I realized no, they're getting money hand over fist guaranteed.
Yeah,
I wish that was the case.
That's also screwy. You're still gonna lose fans though.
Oh, they've lost plenty.
Banks fans, they're gonna freak out about it.
No, they've lost plenty. Trust me, this is not the first instance of this.
With what happened, yeah,
they've done this many times with other people. This is not the first time.
This is gonna be a huge tank on them, though.
Yeah,
you should have been.
Go ahead.
You should have been there in 2015. That's you thought they lost fans. Now, they lost so many fans.
Fans from 2015-16 onward, they've dropped like flies. Trust me. But
you could even make the argument they started losing fans in 2006 when when they were tanking ECW. That's how bad it was.
And listen, I care. It's not that I hate any of the people that are like wrestling on there. I care about the wrestlers. I hate the writers that are booking the garbage that they're booking instead of listening to the fucking wrestlers and what they want to do to have every division cared about in some facet or another. That's what I hate.
That reminds me.
Oh, you go ahead.
Sorry. This reminds me, Jay, did you ever see a video WWE released and then later privated because they knew they just screwed up big time, where they had this writers' room talk where they talked about all the creative writers and all the creative writers were giving interviews?
Oh, I've seen it.
And I was like, I see.
You know that video's still out there in the form of a CBS News video,
It's still up on WWE's YouTube channel. They have not deleted it.
Oh, I know they haven't deleted it. You know what else is also on to the public eye, though? It's on CBS. I used clips of that after they tried to shut down third-party streaming rights.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. When I recall watching that, I was like, I see. You know, throughout this entire thing, you have never once said, I grew up watching this. I grew up being a wrestling fan. You just all talked about your Hollywood aspirations.
Yep.
Yeah, they're just being hired just because they need writers or something, probably.
They don't. Well, here's the thing.
And what if they don't know what they're doing?
Well, let me break it down for you, Moonlight, because you bring up a great point, and this is why I'm glad you're on, because now more casuals that see this somehow will probably have those same questions. I'll break it down, right?
Yeah, break it down.
I was gonna say, it's like I come from places. I've followed a lot of fictional stories, and I grow attached to the characters. But I also understand the writers and producers' perspectives. Like you gotta care about them.
Usually, there would be a script. With the difference between pro wrestling and any other form of entertainment is you're not supposed to have that many script writers like you do in Hollywood. That's not how it should be done. The better way to do it is to have feedback from, number one, the wrestlers, and number two, the community. And that, and maybe not necessarily the community with social media, but even back then, before the internet was privy and everybody knew everything, the fan reactions. That's how you gauged where you should go and what division should be cared about and how they should be cared about, and you know, what level of importance everything is, and how to make everything feel like it means something. Whereas we've gone completely the opposite direction in like the last 2 decades, which
not too far off from animation actually, like what you're describing, not listening to the fans and even the critics.
Yeah,
you're actually not too far off. Something that came to mind when you were talking all about that.
Yeah.
Fairly Odd Parents. When they introduced Poof, there was a huge
SpongeBob.
Yeah. SpongeBob's trying to get back up. It's kind of going up and down.
Yeah,
but really,
I mean, at least you're trying,
the fans
I guess.
Were like, we don't like this. We don't like this. You got to go back to like how it was before then. They even messed up Cosmo's character. Terribly. His voice became a lot more annoying. He became stupid to a point where rival Patrick.
Yeah.
And then Nickelodeon was like, no, we gotta start pushing this out more. And then they introduced more characters. They start breaking the lore.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they finally put it to a rest after season.
Yeah, it's just how it is.
It's messed up. It's just.
Yeah, trust me. You're what you're telling us is basically what we go through as wrestling fans daily.
Daily.
Not time to mention they brought back Very Odd Parents as a live action series again on Paramount.
And the animation looks terrifying. Terrible.
Yeah.
Not terrifying.
Let's. I don't even.
It was terrible. I watched the whole season.
Anything that was meant to be 2D should not be live animation. Stop doing that shit, please.
Yeah.
It's not doing that. That's a trend that needs to die out.
I think the only one that could pull it off. I think the only. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Eric.
I think the only show that would ever pull it off as good as it did, as best as it could, was Gumball.
Yeah, but okay.
I think that could probably do it as well. They had that one episode where the fourth wall was like, their animation was deteriorating, and it ended up showing the voice actors in the studio.
Well, that's the thing too. It's like, the other thing is too is like Gumball was like half 2D and half, like
it was
live animation. Like that's what Gumball was, and now it's like I don't. Like if you go to that well, you could probably go full live animation. But if you're fully 2D, making a 3D or live animation's cursed.
Here's the thing: if you're a 2D animation, don't let the corporations, don't let these big companies try to make a live action. Let the fans do it.
Yeah, definitely.
The fans know what they're doing. That's the irony. The fans know more than the creators.
That's what we go through with this wrestling thing every day.
Well, specifically with the E. Other places we're doing all right.
Something to bring up.
My closing statement's gonna be WWE. This has to be a wake-up call. You gotta listen to your wrestlers. You gotta listen to your fans. You're gonna have stuff like this happening all over again.
I appreciate those closing statements. It reminds me of me. It reminds me of Owen, and it reminds me of Eric and many others in the community. Anyway, before you head out, again, plug your stuff real quick before you go, just since it's your first time and you're heading out.
You can find me Moonlight Mirage on YouTube and on Twitter, MK8 _Triclops. Yes. Triclops is spelled TRICLOPS.
Yeah, by the way, this is the Triclops from the Mario Kart scene.
Yeah, Mario Kart Wii. Actually, if you follow Mario Kart Wii, if you follow Professional Mario Kart Wii, Grand Star Cup Season 3 is going to start sometime, probably in June. You'll be seeing me play for Monolith.
Awesome.
So,
awesome.
Be sure to check that out if you can.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, and before...
Yeah, thank you.
You know what, before you head out, while we still have you on screen, you know what, we'll take a commercial break, and then we'll get to what Eric wants to say, and actually get him to plug his stuff while he's on here during the second part of the commercial break. So, until then, we'll be right back. Don't touch that dial.
The following announcement has been paid for by the Indie Force Podcast. This is podcasting like you've never seen it before. In 2019, Michael X won the Wrestling Rundown Predictions Championship, taking the wrestling world by storm. When the virus attacked, these 4 individuals would create a podcast to talk about the nerdiest shit on the internet, filmed in the Massachusetts Underground. They talk about everything from professional wrestling, YouTube, mixed martial arts, movies, comic books, tabletop, video games, anime, social media, content creation, and everything in between. Watch the Indie Force on the J. Hebert Studios channel now and subscribe today. The following announcement has been paid for by the Indie Force Podcast.
Do you think you have what it takes to cut the greatest promo in professional wrestling history? Step through the ropes, pick a gimmick, and know your role. The Ring Scoops Wrestling card game is the ultimate pro wrestling fan party game. Draw cards at random, use your creativity, and cut a promo on your opponent while the audience cheers. The Ring Scoops card game.
Available now.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Indie Force fans of all ages. I am Luke Lynch, Commander of the Legion, and if you have not already, check out my adventure vlog series over on my channel. Grant you, it's not the most often updated series. It's definitely far from frequently updated. But when it is updated, it's good times, geeky, nerdy, and fun times all around with cool geeks from all walks of life. For example, YouTubers, content creators, Twitch streamers, you name it, I've got it, all on The Adventures of Luke Lynch, which you can find on my channel. Subscribe, like, comment, watch, share, do the whole thing under the umbrella of For the Win Productions. Future James, take it away with that outro.
And we're back. There we go. Almost didn't do it, but I got there in the end. There we go. So, welcome back to the Wrestling Rundown. We are now a three-man booth until Noah gets his damn ass in here. I don't even know what the hell's going on. I gotta check the Facebook app. But you said you had news, Eric, so please.
So,
you are the bearer of all things news. So.
Ric Flair talk. Oh God. Yeah. Ric Flair revealed that he went to 40 doctors. 39 said no. The 40th said yes. He went with the 40th.
All right, so I want to talk about Ric Flair, because I haven't been able to talk about this yet, because this came out the week I was inactive.
Yeah, there isn't that piece of news. I'll get to that when you're finished.
So yeah, last week, was it last week that Ric Flair announced he was coming back for another match? I believe it was.
I think a week or two ago.
Yep.
And it's going to be at some type of Crockett promotion.
It's Jim Crockett promotion, the Jim Crockett Promotions.
Okay.
Conrad Thompson bought the rights to it, and it's basically the only way that Ric Flair can have a retirement match ever again.
Gotcha.
It's because Conrad is his son-in-law, I guess. So. Yeah.
So, given my thoughts on this, this is not a good idea. I think, in a sense, I understand, because Ric Flair's last match was in TNA, and it wasn't the best match, so I think he wants to go out in a better way. But this is your fault, Ric Flair. You had a chance to go out at WrestleMania 24 in an epic way against Shawn Michaels, and you chose to continue wrestling. I understand he needed the money, but he easily could have just found another way to make money in the wrestling business without having to have a match. He could have been an agent backstage. He could have been a manager. But this is ridiculous. It's not even just because of that. But I feel like if this guy has a match, it might be his last match, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I don't give a shit if he croaks in the fucking ring. Quote me. I really don't. Like, and there are obvious reasons why, but here's my thoughts on it. I didn't get. I said a little bit on Jeff Meacham's show, but
go ahead.
I'll say it here again. Here's the bottom line. Flair, this is your fault, and the reason why it's your fault is because you had many times to correct your behavior over the years. You didn't, and now you owe a shit ton of alimony. That's on you, buddy. That's on you. That's not on anybody else but your ass. Period.
Yep.
So I have no sympathy for you, because you know what? The fucking anytime I'm gonna have sympathy for a person who fully sexually molested women while drunk gets the time I feel sympathy for that type of person is the day I'm dead.
So not at all.
Exactly.
But yeah, to finish my thoughts, I think it's a terrible idea. There's rumors it's gonna be like a 6-man tag team match.
Dude, having a 6-man tag team match is like just as dumb of an idea because he's 73 with a fucking pacemaker. Like, I don't give a shit about Richard Flair the person. I don't care.
And he has half a stomach.
And he has half a stomach. Thank you for bringing that up. I completely forgot about that part. So, like, yeah, I could give a fuck about Richard Flair the person, clearly. I don't care. He's lucky I even acknowledged his career before WrestleMania 24 in the retirement match. Or before... after that point, I don't even acknowledge it, right? But he's lucky I even give him that much. But, if you're a fucking promotion that's just starting up again, and everybody's like, well, Conrad Thompson's his fucking son-in-law. So? Why are you feeding into this shit, Conrad?
I know.
I like you, dude, but this is a fucking dumb move. No disrespect to you. I think you're a good guy. I think Jay Lethal's a good guy. For all intents and purposes, he's pretty decent human being. But this is a really stupid move to try and do this on every front. Like, there's no good that comes from this. Absolutely none at all. So.
People are gonna laugh. People are gonna laugh at you.
And even then, like, it's the people who somehow give a fuck even after all the shit that came out about you. They're worried about you now. You're putting them through more shit. Your daughter's probably worried fucking sick. Like, you got to be 3 levels of stupid to even to think that this is a good good idea in any conceivable fucking way.
Yeah.
Bottom line is, dude has a pacemaker, the dude has half a stomach, and the dude sexually molested women because he has a fucking alcohol problem. Yeah. Let the man die. Career-wise and in IRL. He's already put his family, his fan base, and anybody associated with that through enough.
What were you gonna say though about those? Because there was more.
What was I gonna say? That I said my piece.
I have something to say. So Ricky Steamboat was rumored to be the guy he was going to fight Ric Flair. Ricky Steamboat came out, nope, I rejected the offer. I was given an offer, I said no.
Good, I'm
glad
you
see that Ricky Steamboat's not the guy. So Ric Flair and apparently Conrad Thompson thought, okay, we can't get Ricky Steamboat. So someone leaked out some information. Then they backtracked and said, oh, I heard this on the internet. And I was like, never once did I hear this on the internet. So I'm pretty sure you leaked this out. They went ahead and found someone even dumber.
Oh, no.
Go ahead.
Okay, so they were like, okay, as much as people don't want to see Ricky Steamboat come back, at least he was healthy and could theoretically carry Flair. They said... Well, he said no. Okay, we need to find someone crazier. Who could be crazy enough to do one more match with Ric Flair?
Do not say Hulk Hogan. Do not
Hulk
say
Hogan.
Hulk Hogan. Ah!
It was reported in a leak that it might be... Someone leaked it, so it might be Hulk Hogan. Mr. Racist Brokeback guy.
Alright, so pretty much everything that James just said about Ric Flair and I just said about Ric Flair, just put that on Hulk Hogan, because it's basically the same.
They're one and the same fucking person. They're carny pieces of shit who
basically
did horrible things.
So basically, if Hulk Hogan is confirmed to be the opponent for Ric Flair's final match, which is 100 different reasons wrong, you're basically saying, okay, let's encapsulate everything wrong with the 80s and 90s wrestling eras into one package.
And not only that, so does that mean Flair's teaming up with FTR? Because you can't have Hogan team up with FTR.
Okay, here's the thing. This is where it gets a little dumber. So, it's said that FTR is going to team up with Flair, and the opponents are the Rock and Roll Express, and a third unknown partner, which is now...
It has to be Hogan.
Yeah, so FTR, I'm pretty sure, is thinking, yeah, this isn't worth it, let's get out of here.
I hope to God.
Yeah.
Dude.
FTR
Dude, Rock and Roll Express, I hope, would pull out before fucking FTR does.
Yeah, but Rock and Roll Express can at least still go at least to a certain extent.
But nobody should have their name tied to this fucking train wreck that's about to happen. Is my point.
Yeah.
Like, World Entertainment Series has a better fucking standing, and they have Nia Jax and Lana on the goddamn card.
Yeah.
Like, this is a bad idea from every conceivable front. Genuinely speaking. Like, I'm not even... Like, Conrad, what in the fuck are you thinking? Why did Hogan even... Jay Lethal's training him!
Yo.
Like, yeah, I don't like the fact that you're promoting Richard Flair, but I can at least tolerate it because you're the fucking son-in-law, and at least Jay Lethal is not a fucking... racist fucking asshole like Hogan is.
Yeah.
Like, I can at least accept that. You're booking 2 peas in a fucking pod here. And by the way, for those who think that fucking Hogan hasn't fucking molested women like Flair has, look it up. He's done that plenty of times. It was the fucking 80s. Everybody did, especially if you were top star in that company. It was fucked up and it never should have been allowed. Number two, you don't think Flair was a racist? Why don't you ask Teddy Long?
Yep.
Also, didn't like Hulk Hogan say, okay, Vince, we can deal with Warrior. We can break his leg.
He did, yeah. He pretended that the Undertaker tombstoned him hard too. I think he tried to ruin Undertaker's career at one point.
Mm-hmm.
That he shoot pile drivered him, even though his head came nowhere near the chair. Yeah, that story's been told
by the Undertaker himself.
Which, by the way, I'm convinced that that's what got him booed at WrestleMania, because that's right around the same time that came out.
Yeah.
By his own mouth, pretty much. So.
When I heard this, Casey from AEW in the chat reported this to me, telling me that yes, there's apparently a leak that Hogan might be Flair's final opponent.
Which, by the way, if you're a Jim Crockett fan, there goes all the Jim Crockett fans.
Yeah.
Seriously, like, nobody wants it. Like, people are sick of Hogan. They're already sick of Flair, but like Jim Crockett fans may watch for Flair. They will not watch for Hogan. Especially they will not watch for Hulk Hogan getting the pin.
Absolutely.
On Flair. Because there's no other way. Because if Flair is on the team of FTR, then that means they're the heels going in. And somehow that means the Rock and Roll Express and Hulk fucking Hogan are the baby phases.
This reminds me a little bit of how John Cena was so hated that he had to associate with more popular acts, and then their popularity crashed.
Yo.
Well, I mean, let's not get too carried away. I don't think that's gonna actually happen with the Rock and Roll Express and FTR because they're fucking made. Both of those teams are made.
Yeah, they're awesome.
And this isn't on an AEW show. This isn't even on a New Japan show or AAA show or fucking Ring of Honor show. So I think they'll be fine in that regard. But
not even a GCW show.
GCW. This would be the last thing GCW would book, guaranteed.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a fucking mess. I think there's a mistake. Just go with Jay Lethal. Jay Lethal's the one he's been training with the most. Hulk Hogan in his mind state and Richard Flair in his mind state are the last 2 people you want to put in a fucking ring together.
I know.
Terry and Flair in their states and their mental capacities, no.
Absolutely not. Yeah. One final story before we talk about like what's been going on in wrestling these past couple of weeks, because this was actually pretty big too. I think it got kind of overlooked by the Sasha Banks and Naomi thing. Stephanie McMahon last week announced that she's taking a leave of absence.
The JJ said it beforehand, and I agree with him, and so did Josh Mansfield said it on Open Mic Night. I'm practically convinced that Sasha and Naomi walking out is the reason Stephanie left.
That could be it.
You can't convince me otherwise. I'm convinced that's what it was.
I have a report from that. Apparently, there was a private matter that was the reason she left, and she was apparently distancing herself from the position she was in for a while now. And I was thinking, do you think Vince McMahon publicly disowning his children practically has something to do with it?
Well, let's see. That, and on top of the fact that she single-handedly saved the relationship between WWE and 2K, and then right alongside that became the chief financial officer for fucking FaZe Clan.
Oh, and Triple H's dismantling problem.
Yeah, so...
One big thing you guys forgot about, Shane McMahon was... One of the reasons that was rumored is because of Shane McMahon getting fired this year too.
Yep.
Yeah, also because their grandmother died.
Probably just. There's probably a whole host of reasons. I'm not gonna just sit here and say, "Oh, Stephanie left because, there were creative differences over Sasha and Naomi and Vince."
I'm pretty sure it was a multitude of stuff.
Vince and his boys pissed him off, and that pissed her off. I'm not saying that's the only reason, because that'd be dumb. I'm sure it's a multitude of reasons. There was a multitude of reasons why everybody left that company. You could just about find any shoot interview, and it wasn't just down to one particular reason. But this is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
This is definitely one of them. This could be maybe at least one or two of the number one or number two of the big ones.
Well, I read the article that I read says unless she says it herself, this is going to be like one of the biggest well-kept secrets about why she left. We won't know until the WWE or
I'm sure they'll make her sign an NDA.
Yeah, and two things. One, Nick Khan has taken her position, so he is now have all the keys to the kingdom.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm pretty sure Nick Khan is going to be the permanent position guy. He's going to get that position.
Eventually, wrestling is going to belong to the Khan soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Nick Khan, screw that. I have no respect for that chicken shit. I have no respect for him.
No.
There was one thing I wanted to bring up. Does anyone watch Matt Hardy's podcast with John Alba?
I haven't yet, no.
No, I have not, but go ahead.
Okay,
Before you move on to that, I just want to say one weird thing, and then we can move on to that, just because I don't want to bring this up later. How weird is it to think that maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, even 5 years ago, we all thought that, like, the company was going to get passed down to Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, or even to last to Shane McMahon.
It's completely gone left field now, yeah. That's never happening now.
And then how weird is it to think that Vince McMahon in the company has outlasted all of his kids, pretty much? That's just strange. That's just weird.
No, I think the bigger question should be, whoever imagined 5 years ago that Vince would come out and publicly say, my kids didn't do enough?
Yeah.
You know what? I did. It doesn't surprise me at all. I've been on the fuck Vince McMahon train since I was fucking... since I barely hit puberty. Alright, I've been on that train for ages now. But, anyway, you were talking about a story. Continue.
Okay, this is might make you further prove that Vince McMahon is an absolute psychopath, and they, for some reason, had to try and justify this.
I know where you're going with this.
Matt Hardy revealed that WWE scrapped an idea to have The Fiend interact with the Broken Hardys, which actually kind of would have been awesome to see, but that's Bray Wyatt's interaction with the Broken Hardys, and following up on that story, since there's always that speculation that Matt Hardy releasing Sister Abigail for him released The Fiend, which would have been an interesting storytelling device and would have tied a lot of things together, but we'll never know that for sure unless Bray Wyatt goes to AEW.
Yeah.
But, Matt Hardy revealed something about Bray Wyatt and his relationship with Vince.
I don't know. Wait till you hear this, James. Wait till you hear this.
Go ahead.
This is what Matt Hardy said on the podcast, on The Extreme Life of Matt Hardy. Windham has always had a very strange relationship with Vince. Very strange. Like, I almost felt like Vince looked at him like a son in some ways. This is where things get weird. When he would do things he liked, he would love him, and he would literally give him everything that he could possibly give him. He would bend over backwards to try and accommodate him, but then when he did something he didn't like, he hated like he was going to lock him away for good. It almost like a really weird, really strange and different duality that Vince shared with Bray. When he liked him or loved him, he was all about him. But when he disliked him, oh my god, it was really bad. He would like punish him, insult him. To me, it was so strange. It was almost like a parent.
Yeah. I believe it.
Hold on. I believe it too, but let's time the fuck out. Time out on everything here. When he disliked you, he would punish you.
Yep.
Yell at you. And then what?
And insult him.
And insult him.
Yes.
Huh.
Okay, I'm gonna take cover now.
Yeah.
So. Thanks, Vince. You fucking moron. Because all you have done for the last, like, how many years now since I've been saying this dude's an abusive fuck with everybody he's ever known. All you've done is just prove my point more. Thanks, dude. Appreciate that. Not really, because I feel fucking bad for Bray. I feel bad for Stephanie and Shane more so now than I did before. I feel bad for Hunter than I did before. And you know what? It's funny enough, I feel bad, even worse for Corbin, because he probably gets it worse than anybody else does. Because, do we want to talk about the fucking story where you went and just randomly fucking hit Corbin backstage, and then Corbin, like a sad puppy's trying to fucking justify it and laugh it off as if it's fucking nothing?
Or we could talk about the story where JBL laughed about how he threatened to beat up and fire Michael Cole on national television because he referenced someone he didn't like.
Or how about the time where you freaking kept bullying Marinallo using JBL as a filter?
And also saying you're not like Michael Cole, so we're gonna punish you for it.
Or how about this one? When you basically said to other people that came from NXT, everything that you learned is not the way that I want you to learn. And basically denouncing everything that Triple H did, making him pull his hair out and probably have a cardiac arrest.
Also, I was going to also bring up how Vince wanted to convert NXT into a beatdown factory, essentially. Beat the independents out of them, then beat the NXT out of them.
Anybody that has ever told me that Vince McMahon doesn't nearly deserve half the shit that I give him, shut the fuck up right now. Never say that to my face again. Because I could come at you like a revolver with all these examples. This one that Eric just broke, that came from Matt Hardy, which is a very close source to Wyndham Rotunda, happening this week alone! Shut up! He's an awful human being. He's always been an awful human being, and he will continue to be an awful human being until he croaks in the fucking grave. Fuck. That pissed me off, man. I loathe when people are treated like they're nothing. Like there is no value in any of these fucking people. Like that's how Vince sees them. Like, if they fuck up once, that's it. Like, people aren't allowed to make mistakes. How many of you made, fucker?
That happened with Finn Balor. He got injured one time, and that ruined his career.
Yeah, and Ziggler, too. Countless times.
Yeah, and... So, and now I gotta bring this part up. Before we get to that, but, like, I saw that, and I was like, if James has not seen this podcast about Matt Hardy talking about Wyndham and what he described this relationship with Vince being, I will be amazed.
No,
and I'm amazed that you haven't seen that podcast.
No, I haven't. And there's a reason why. It's because I fucking barely follow social media anymore because of shit like this. Because literally anything that Vince does that's abusive to wrestlers, which, by the way, happens almost fucking weekly at this point, I'm gonna fucking hate, and I know I'm gonna hate, and it's, sometimes I could just kind of roll it off my shoulders and just tell people they need to fucking get the fuck out of there, which, by the way, Sasha and Banks and Naomi did. And other times I just can't, especially when I hear, parental abuse like that, even though Wyndham was never his fucking kid.
I know.
And here's another thing. Remember how I told you how Stephanie was leaving and on the open mic night in the chat, and you guys said that no one knew about it? Guess who said no one knew about it? How they were shocked she said that.
Go ahead.
Mike Johnson, a PW Insider, said it. Said that no one in the backstage area knew other than Vince's inner circle.
Yeah, that tells you that there was more than just,
And apparently
it wasn't just family affairs, put it that way.
And there was saying she's been that her role in WWE would be reduced soon.
You know what it comes down to? This is what it comes down to. I don't want to be my father. I actually want to be a fucking decent parent.
Absolutely.
That's what it comes down to.
I'm pretty sure that Charlotte's having that crisis of consciousness because she's been coming out in the recent months saying how much, I wish I didn't have this many title reigns so quickly. I wish my title reigns weren't so short. I wish they were actually not given to me so quickly. I wish we did this. I wish we did that. It was like Charlotte just really realized, oh my god, I'm becoming my father.
Yeah, by force.
Yeah,
by the way. It was very evident on Ariel Helwani podcast. Like, she was not mentally... She is not mentally well at all. Not at all. We'll
yeah.
If we keep talking about Vince and his abuse, I feel like we're going to be here all night, and I kind of don't want to do that.
There's one more story I got to mention, and this is the part where I think... And I was wondering if you had heard about this.
Go ahead.
Tony Storm revealed something on AEW Unrestricted.
Go ahead.
Who did?
Tony Storm.
Tony Storm. Okay. Remember that pie to the face angle they did?
With Tony, yeah, I do.
Yeah. Turns out WWE wanted her to do something far worse.
Yeah, they wanted her to be, naked or something or close to it.
Naked, and she was like, yes, mostly because you've been firing people and I don't feel comfortable saying no because you'll probably freak out. And she said, I laugh at what happened now because we at least did the pie thing, and I was like, Tony, how do I say this delicately? That's still not a good thing. It took other people saying no for you to not be horribly humiliated against your will without feeling like you were forced to do this. Do we have to repeat what happened with Lita?
Dude, I think she knows. I think she can't say it that because of the NDA, so she has to be delicate and laugh it off, basically. But I'm sure she... Listen, you don't just leave something you've loved for so many years for no fucking reason, and that was one of them. And for those who are going to be like, well, she has OnlyFans now. Yeah, here's the difference. It was her fucking choice.
Yeah.
That was her choice. That was not going to be.
And it's not on national TV.
Yeah, on a PG fucking on a PG program, by the way. Need we forget?
Yeah.
So I could go on about Vince's dumb bullshit all day, but we'll be here all night if we.
Yeah, let's move.
And also, I was trying to find this article again. Okay, it's not. I don't recall if it had anything to do with WWE, but okay. So, where was it? Man, I had it right in the palm of my hands, but now I lost it.
No, don't worry about it. If you find it, let me know. But I want to try to move on. Speaking of something different, AEW.
Let's talk about it.
I want to talk about specifically. Without going and reviewing the last few weeks, specifically the Owen Hart tournament, like both tournaments, right? Because I feel like they started strong and then the jokers happened. A lot of people, I didn't mind Johnny Elite. I didn't mind Morrison being the male Joker. We'll get to the female Joker in a minute, but it feels like the male and female brackets suffered towards the final matches. Big time.
So I'll get my thoughts on it. I really enjoyed that everyone had to qualify to get in. I think that was cool. I like that.
Right.
I'm trying to remember. I actually loved Kyle O'Reilly versus Ray Phoenix. I thought that was a banger.
That was awesome. That was great.
I liked Jeff Hardy versus Darby Allin. I thought that was very good. Some people complain that Darby lost, but I really didn't have a problem with it because Jeff Hardy used his experience to win, so Darby still kind of came off looking strong at the end.
I agree. I agree with you.
I liked Adam Cole versus. I'm trying to remember who did he wrestle.
Adam Cole fought.
He fought Dash Wilder.
Yeah, Dash Wilder in the first.
I like that match.
It wasn't Dash Wilder. It was Dax Hardwood.
Dax Hardwood.
Yeah.
There is something I wanted to bring up about Owen. There is something I want to bring up about the Owen tournament.
Go ahead.
Today is the anniversary of his passing from the horrible incident.
Rest in peace, Owen Hart, for sure.
But I'll continue. I didn't really mind. I could understand why people didn't like Jeff Hardy versus Adam Cole because it was rushed and stuff like that. I didn't really have a problem with that either, just because Jeff Hardy was going into the match hurt, so it wouldn't have made sense for them to do like a 20-minute match. I didn't have.
I think they deserved at least 13 to 14.
That's fine.
I think there was a big problem. Well, here's the major issue. I'm just gonna get right to it since it kind of leads into why that match got cut so quick. Maki Ito.
Yep.
And the match lasting an entire commercial break.
Yep.
Sorry. On no planet should that have ever happened. On no timeline should that have ever happened. That should have gone through 2 to 3 minutes of action at least. And Maki Ito gets beat 1, 2, 3. I still would have not liked it, but there are fans of Maki Ito out there that like her fucking comedy style, whatever. It's not for me personally, but whatever, right? This should not have lasted through a fucking commercial break. You gotta be off your fucking head to make this go through a goddamn commercial break. Structure your show better.
Either the fact that was nearly 7 minutes.
Or either that, and even that. Like, fucking get a 15-minute overrun if you fucking have to. If you really want to fucking, at least make the bag bigger. Stop trying to fit fucking 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag.
Yeah.
During the second hour.
They should have put this on Rampage at least then, because that way...
At the very least, then I wouldn't have been as disappointed, but, I still would have not been okay with it. But that, I thought about it, I was like, well, you know what, this is the biggest rib, right? Because Owen Hart was a big ribber. So, I could see him laughing at this, ha ha ha, everybody thought it was going to be a Mac Clinic. Nah, because Owen Hart was a big rib guy. He actually used to wrestle comedy matches too as the Blue Blazer, so I mean he probably would have thought that was funny anyway. But still, man, a whole commercial break is pushing even that logic.
Yeah,
I was disappointed.
We can all agree on one thing about this tournament.
Go ahead.
The fact that it will now go down on this day that it was so surreal to see Martha Hart in a wrestling arena.
That is fair.
After 20 plus years.
Yeah, that is absolutely fair. Go ahead, Owen, you were saying?
What I didn't like about the women's Joker is I was waiting for it to be like Mia Yim, Candice LeRae. I was waiting for somebody, and then it was just Maki Ito. It was just so disappointing.
The obvious. Let's be honest. Let's just call it as it is, guys. The obvious Joker choice should have been Deonna Purrazzo. That's who it should have been.
But even the story. I don't think they want to give that away on free TV, though.
I'll tell you why they should have put it on free TV. Get the most eyeballs to have her fucking squash Britt Baker and annihilate her out of fucking left field, because it would fit her character demeanor right now. She's pissed off, so she's gonna fucking take it out on the person right in front of her.
Especially too, because they're friends in real. They're like best friends in real life too.
Yeah,
with
and
Baker and Deonna Purrazzo.
And then have Deonna Purrazzo go after Toni Storm, same way, all the way up until the final to whoever wins between Soho and who's she fighting in the semifinals? Riho, right?
Chris Statlander.
Oh yeah, because Riho can't make it. Right. So
no. It was Shida that couldn't make it. Is what you're thinking of?
Was it Shida?
Yeah, Shida couldn't make it.
So Soho beat Riho, and then Statlander replaced Shida because she wasn't medically cleared kayfabe-wise anyway.
Yeah, and it will be Ruby Soho versus Chris Statlander and Toni Storm versus Britt Baker.
So still, I wish they went with Deonna, man, because Deonna, I feel like was a bigger opportunity. I don't even care if the fucking woman signed. Seriously, don't even sign her. Run with that story. Like, have an Impact star win a world title over there. I think it's about time.
But I would have also went with Stardom. I would have contacted someone from Stardom. It's like, Stardom, you got talent for us? We can open the Forbidden Door with you gals. Okay, we'll send Kairi there. She's mainstream appeal.
Yeah,
Kairi to a degree, but I even if it's not mainstream per se, I think Deonna was the best choice. That's just me. I personally, because I've literally been following the story with Deonna on Impact. She lost both titles, and then she lost the other title on Dynamite. So I've seen the whole story of her descent into this potential madness with her. Like, they really should have fed into that with her just entering in as the Joker. Or, hell, have Maki Ito come out, and then have Deonna Purrazzo come in a hood, and then just belt her with a fucking chair over and over and over again.
That'd be great.
Like, because I think the whole idea was anyway that Maki and Britt were friends anyway, right? So that would fucking sell the realism of it. And then she just points at her, and then she's like, "You're fighting me."
Yeah, that'd be great.
And then she's like, "Why did you just do that?" And then she freaking goes in with the chair. Britt Baker is like, "What are you doing?" And then bam, right in the face. And then she just starts wailing her, forearm shots. Like, that's how I would have booked that, man. I think Deonna wrecking shop night one in was the best way to make a star. And it also helps the division because, and this is on Britt, that promo in Pittsburgh was not very favorable to the women at all.
Yeah.
Those words that she cut were a little bit too real. So if you were to have Deonna Purrazzo come out here and beat the shit out of her, that shuts a lot of doubters out real quick.
Especially too, you could, because Britt Baker, I think it's time for her to go babyface. It's the perfect way to turn Britt Baker babyface too.
And even then, it's like you could argue that Deonna's the babyface. I mean, because of the promos that Britt cut. Like, you want to talk about a woman, a person that has a microphone that knows what to do with it, right? You want to, try me on for size, bitch.
Especially too, you're talking about, like, because the whole thing was like Britt Baker and Maki Ito were in on it. This like ruins Britt Baker's whole plans and everything like that too.
Yeah, so. Which again, why did the match between her and Britt even go as long as it did? It should have been finger poke of doom at least. Personally to me, but anyway.
What's your bit? I guess I'll ask everyone a question though. I mean, I think we know for both tournaments. What's been your favorite matches? What's your favorite match of the both tournaments? For me, it's Kyle O'Reilly versus Ray Phoenix. I thought.
Yeah, Kyle and Phoenix all the way for sure.
Like, if we want to go further back, I could go ahead and also argue for a qualifier match. I would have said Dax Hardwood and Cash Wheeler.
Yeah, that was great too. There was a lot of great matches in the qualifiers though.
I liked Darby and Shane Strickland. That was a good one.
The women's match that surprised me the most, even though I really shouldn't have, was Toni Storm and Jamie Hayter for sure.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I loved that match. I thought that really showed great things.
I I liked Red Velvet versus Chris Statlander. I don't know if you've seen that one, but that was a good one.
Yeah, that was really good, actually. I did see that one.
That was really good. Obviously, I think that's pretty much a given what our least favorite match in the women's one was. I don't think What about the least favorite? What about the least favorite match in the men's one?
Adam Cole and Jeff Hardy, because it went way too short.
Yeah, definitely.
That was so disappointing, man. I was looking forward to that so much, and then they fucked it up. Like, I wasn't expecting like a 5-star classic out of the gate or anything because of the whole injury angle. But come on, man, you could have given this way more time.
Yeah, like 5, maybe 10 more minutes.
They need an overrun. I've been advocating for them to get an overrun for ages now. Fucking do it, please.
Let's talk about a storyline that's probably the best storyline in all of AEW right now. The storyline between MJF and Wardlow. I really am just loving this so much right now. Yeah, I'm loving this so much. You know, MJF laid out the stipulations a couple weeks ago where Wardlow has to go basically through the same stipulations that Cody had to go through to fight him, which I think is pretty cool.
I think my favorite part of the storyline, honest to God, right now is the current I think the current standing right now, but like 2 weeks ago when MJF was the babyface and he was getting cheered out of the building. Yeah. And then he was going to uncuff Wardlow, and then the crowd got worried. And then Wardlow started wrecking shop, and then they started cheering for him.
Yeah.
That was fucking outstanding. Like,
I like it too.
You want to talk about getting a guy over in your own hometown. Like, holy shit. Like, this dude looked like a beast.
I like it too, by the way, when MJF is in his hometown. Like, he's not he's a baby face, but it's like treated like when Bret Hart was in Canada when he was heel. Like, it's just like it's bizarre world.
I love that. I love that aspect of it. I think that might be my favorite part. Although they follow it up with the whipping segment. Holy shit. It took 9 lashes for him to finally just show pain. Holy shit, dude.
Here's the thing. I'm going to say this on air. Tony Khan, pay me. I said this 3 hours before the show. Pay me. Pay me that Wardlow was going to no-sell it. Tony Khan, you admitted. You read our tweets. So give me money. Give me $1,000 for every time you say "Swerve in Our Glory" for Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland, and give me $500 at least for the lashes.
Can't confirm this man did come up with "Swerve in Our Glory." That's a shoot. That's actually a shoot.
But James, I want to go back. I don't think it was the fact that it took that many hits for Wardlow to get hit. I think it did hurt. He just didn't want to give MJF the satisfaction.
Which I love the storytelling. I love that. I love that. And I love that just he fucking kicked him in the balls like a dickhead and then just started whipping him as he's falling. Oh, what a heel. I love this guy, man, as a bad guy.
But like I said, imagine the he would get if he's the one that dethrones Hangman. I know people want Punk versus MJF again, but Hangman is the fairy tale.
I think there's a better story if he does it with Punk, though. I do think there's a better story if he fucks Punk out of it.
Now, the question I have for everybody, though, because we have kind of a problem here, because this is like a double-edged sword, because both guys in this MJF Wardlow thing can't take a loss, because MJF just came off a big loss of a feud.
I got a solution! I have a solution. I know where you're already going with this. I got the solution.
What's the solution?
Okay. So, MJF had a non-disclosure agreement where if there was any physicality, then the agreement was off. Which means, by technicality standards, since MJF was the person who ended up getting physical with Wardlow, he can counteract that claim on the contract and file an injunction, which means that Wardlow can be free to sign with AEW regardless if he won or lost. So what you could do at this point is MJF ends up winning by a bullshit shenanigans.
Yeah.
And then files an injunction and gets himself hired by AEW that way. Problem solved.
No. I got a better idea.
Go ahead.
MJF does defeat Wardlow at Double or Nothing, rants and raves how we'll never see him again, and then Tony Khan comes out with a contract to say, oh, this guy, we're going to give him a raise, actually, and he's going to sign an extension for 5 more years.
My God, no! Oh!
Imagine if Tony Khan did that.
That would be a brilliant story. You know what? Combine both of them. Do it that. Do it exactly that way.
Take the real world going on between MJF and Tony Khan and add Wardlow.
All right, so people, just to recap, in case this happens on television, Wardlow files an injunction because MJF got physical with him first, gets a contract with Tony Khan that's 5 years onward.
Yo. Well, the question I have, though...
and add in the raise comment. Let's add in
the raise as well. Yes.
Yeah.
Paying more than MJF paid him.
MJF's like, what?
I love
other things that are going on in AEW that are good. I really like, the feud between Eddie Kingston, Santana Ortiz, and the Jericho Appreciation Society.
Yeah.
Some people have complained that they did the same thing every week where the Jericho Appreciation Society kept beating down Eddie Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz. And I kept telling people there was a reason for this because look what happened the past couple of weeks. Because now the odds are even. Which is kind of funny because the odds kind of would have been in the Face's favor had Willa Yuta not had to go to Japan to be in the Best of Super Junior.
That was good timing that he decided to go for that, huh?
Yeah.
Jesus. Eddie's going in there as pure champion.
Yeah. But anyhow, I really like this that they've added the Blackpool Combat Club into this, and I love the interaction that William Regal and Chris Jericho had with each other. In a sense, they've actually kind of had William Regal get revenge on Chris Jericho for him to drink his pee by having him put his toothbrush down his ass. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, I did not expect that coming from Regal.
I want to bring this up. How is it that another company is taking advantage of another company's continuity that they have repeatedly ignored for the last 20 years, 20 to 30 years?
The answer is you're Vince McMahon and you hate your fans.
Yeah.
That too.
I really...
and your performers, apparently.
Yeah. But I really like, when they tried to challenge them to a Stadium Stampede match, and Moxley was just like, "No, we ain't doing
any of the sports entertainment garbage." I love it.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Moxley, it's been said that he may have likely resigned.
I'm not shocked by that. Are you kidding me?
Now, this is actually a story that came out of this. I don't know if you guys saw Rampage on Friday, but apparently they did like a big Polar Pop brawl at the end of the show.
Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah, unfortunately. I think he's okay, though, because I think he only was limping slightly. They said he walked out on his own.
There was reports coming out saying it was a work. Here's something that made me look at something, and I was like, when I saw this, I was like, but isn't that what you wanted, though, out of this?
Yeah.
This is what I was saying. There were WWE tribalists who hate AEW say, oh, I hope Brian's alright, I hope he's alright, even though I'm most likely one of those people that were threatening him on Instagram and sending him death threats.
Yep.
I was thinking to myself, but this is what you wanted. You wanted him to suffer because he went to the enemy.
I appreciate the people that didn't want him to suffer because he decided to take a better deal, by the way. Thank you for not being assholes. The very few of you.
But, there was some AEW hate out there. Like, Tony Khan went on to Twitter and tried to play it up as kayfabe afterwards. And some AEW fans are like, wait, you booked this segment anyways. It's like, Tony Khan's trying to be at kayfabe. Let the guy be kayfabe. Like, I don't understand. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Someone who's broken all the kayfabe rules, and it's gone very dark.
Go ahead.
the situation with Kota Ibushi and New Japan escalating.
Yeah, you know what? Let's talk about that actually. Now that we kind of talked about AEW and the highlights, we probably will get back to AEW on the third hour for a little bit because there's a huge. Sure. By the way, I mean at some point, I mean holy fucking pay-per-view cards this week, this month alone. I mean, if you watch everything, you got a busy fucking week. Holy shit. Or you got a busy month. You got a busy 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So yeah, this Coda thing, man, I'm not liking this at all. First off, before anything,
explain the story, because I'm not, like, 100% in the know on.
Okay. Long story short, what we do know is he's exposed that, there is a bunch of cheaters in New Japan, which is not really inconsequential to the business. As in, like, they cheated on their spouses. Like, it's a dickhead move, but it is, you know, that shit has happened for years, and it's not like...
Yeah, and then he revealed that and then he implies that New Japan Pro Wrestling is in bed with the Yakuza Mafia, which is like, why are you still in the country now?
Yeah, well, there's the word implied. He didn't outright say it. That's probably why he's still there.
But just even bringing up Yakuza into this, it's like, dude, if you're implying it alone, then wouldn't that be like don't say that or else you'll piss someone off?
And then there was apparently sexual assault allegations towards Gato because Gato was sexually assaulting Kota Ibushi, who was, by the way, is the head booker of New Japan Pro Wrestling of America.
Yeah, he even referenced Gato saying, let me talk to Gato. Let me talk to Gato about this. And then everything reached a fever pitch this morning. 15 hours ago, Kota Ibushi, trigger warning for this, there is some dark stuff in here. Kota Ibushi went on Twitter and said this threaded tweet. I know this is sudden, but I can no longer bear to watch the show, I'll tell you. Previously, I brought up his name and the screenshot that is totally true. I wasn't sure if I should tell it, but it's unbearable for me to see my mother in her current condition. First of all, they still haven't apologized. Kicha and Obanaya, I can't pronounce these names, probably don't have guilt feelings. They didn't even meet me to give a notice of my release. It was merely via line. My mother contacted me with concern, perhaps noticing my distress. I had reached my limit, so I talked to my mother about that sudden line message and the power harassment-esque treatments that I received. Then she said in a weak voice, it's okay to leave. The next day, my mother attempted suicide. She clearly said that she could not forgive Kitcha and the current president. That is why I will fight until the end. They did something that is absolutely unforgivable. I wasn't able to get in touch with my mother to meet her in person. I will only manage to talk to her through someone else in the near future. I have already consulted my agent. The current president and this Kicha guy, do you understand? My mother attempted suicide right after Mother's Day. That is remotely attempted murder. It's a miracle that she's alive, but can you heal her hip bone? There's more to say, but it'll cause trouble for others. And in a recent reply, he said this to fans. I think you should hold a press conference. They won't hold it. They don't even bother to talk to me in person, only via line. Well, you'll probably find out everything in court. Sorry for my lack of words. I can't talk about the rest because I'm pushed by many different forces not to speak out. The time will come where everything is known. And then saying, I don't know why Ibushi was suddenly fired. Kicha himself said he trapped me. You will perhaps find out why in the near future. Specifically, I'm going to talk about it as soon as I finish looking after my mother.
First and foremost, before I even talk to anybody about this, prayers to Kota Ibushi's mother. Obviously, that's fucking terrible. I wish that, I don't wish that upon anybody, especially to, to any parent to ever feel that way. That's fucking terrible. It's heartbreaking, if nothing else.
Especially after Mother's Day.
Yeah, especially, not even, 2 weeks after?
I don't know if they have a different date for Mother's Day in Japan. I don't know.
Well, still, I mean, in our country, that's... Fuck. I mean, and then... Man. Let's talk about it, man. As much as this is fucked up to Coda, I want to make it very clear, I'll even... call us, if you're feeling any distress to that nature, call for help, because it's never the answer. It's never the fucking answer. It's not. The situation will pass. The minute you take your life, that will do more damage than you could ever fucking think. And you know, they may say they don't feel any guilt, but obviously there was a big situation. I don't think that the president of New Japan, this is probably the last thing that he wanted, and not because, you know, oh, he's thinking of the business, which maybe has something to do with that, but I doubt that he's a heartless prick. I mean, for crying out loud, you say what you will about the guy, the current president of New Japan, who's being very callous to Kota right now, but he also did save a little girl from getting run over by a train. So I want to keep that in perspective before, you know, we just completely say, oh, you know, he's just a heartless bastard to Kota and his mother. No, I doubt that he wanted this. This probably has got to be killing him. I'm sure it's killing anybody that has any respect for Ibushi and his contributions to that company. Even the people that he may have spoke out against already, you know, for being cheaters or whatever. Nobody wants to hear that, you know, because then you're thinking about your mother in that position, you know, like, what if that was my mom? I don't want that to be my mother, you know. So it's a shitty situation. I don't think you should just completely shit on New Japan for it, at least not yet, until we find out more information. I still maintain that, but man, it doesn't suck any less. Fuck. That's terrible, man.
Especially it makes you, you know, what will happen in New Japan, you know, with if all this stuff comes out, you know, and he ends up being right in the end, like it's gonna be a big blow to New Japan.
Oh, big time. Yeah. And now I'm wondering what it is, you know. Or I guess we'll find out in a few years' time, because that's probably how long it's gonna take, I guess.
And then, you know, you question what's next for Kota Ibushi. You know, I definitely think.
Well, Kota already said he was going to start his own research facility on trauma to the body and neck, and specifically, like because he's suffered from a neck injury before, and
I remember that.
He's suffered from tricep injuries, and CTE, I'm sure, is a mucker futter to him. So.
Yeah, I hope everything with Kota Ibushi and like.
Oh. How did I forget? One of the other things that Coda did say, and Eric, I think I'm correct on this. You could correct my statement if otherwise, but the big obvious elephant in the room is that they fucking rush people way too soon from injury to still compete, which is why you'll see people in fucking slings still wrestling, or in kinesio tape up to the ass just to wrestle. Like,
I haven't been watching New Japan lately, but I have heard a bunch of stuff about that.
Bro, listen, I saw Tanahashi wrestle live, and that was awesome and everything, but I did not see Tanahashi at 100%, and I was concerned with his safety, especially wrestling a guy like Sabre Jr. I seriously thought there was at any point, even a simple arm bar could have broken his arm right there and then.
Yeah.
Like, he was in a fucking sling when he came out. And I'm like, why is he fucking wrestling? And then I'm seeing, like, Naito and Ibushi taking neck spots and shit. Like, you know, that alone I'm on Ibushi's side. Like, I've been on Ibushi's side beforehand. Like, you know, neck trauma in New Japan and head trauma and fucking any form of trauma to the body. Like, and working through that at a full-time level despite the injury and coming back way sooner than you should.
Naito came out and revealed, I've been dealing with an eye injury.
Blind. He's blind, technically, in one eye. He's like, what, 60, 70% blind.
It's my dream. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
I just, fuck.
I mean, look at with these injuries, look at how long it's affected Kenny Omega. He's been at it. It's one of the reasons he's out of action for so long.
I'm shocked that Omega is even alive. hearing some of the stuff I've heard.
Like the vertigo, the broken leg, the knees.
Dude, he was working through so damn hurt when he fought Hangman. Like, seriously, fuck off any hater of Kenny Omega. You don't get to fucking talk ever again. Because seriously, I mean this when I say this. Kenny Omega was having the matches of his life, not even at 100% in 4 separate fucking continents, in 4 separate companies.
Yeah.
I would like to stress this out. One, he had several matches that were borderline death matches, one with explosives.
Yeah.
2, he was world champion for 3 of those companies at the same time, and 4 for a brief time in New Japan, and he was still working her, and he was wrestling 60-minute matches with Okada when he started having vertigo.
And he was wrestling 60-minute matches with the likes. He was wrestling fucking a time limit draw with Bryan Danielson, and all these different fucking matches. He was wrestling Rey Fenix in a 6-sided ring at one point. Which, by the way, if you've heard stories about taking bumps on those things, are not fun. Like,
working with Andrade with a 6-sided ring, and I'm pretty sure Kenny was like, okay, look, I'm cool with keeping the title, but can we drop it to Andrade? Ric Flair's there. Can we drop it? I'm pretty sure Triple H should have taken that out. Here's the thing. Tony Khan was all for giving the title back to AAA, and I was like, looking back on it, you probably should have taken that out, considering what would happen months later.
Yeah, it was a good idea. They didn't go with that, but with Flair specifically. But I think
at least Andrade would have been the champion, and they could still have featured him and done a story with him. But after Kenny comes back,
I honestly wish they just give the belt to Andrade and make the Ric Flair thing a one-time deal. Because, man, they have a really bad problem with just making all their champions outside names from other companies.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, there's not one homegrown talent that has a belt. I think the only one is... And even he's not even outside name now. The current AAA Mega Champion was on MLW not too long ago. Probably still is.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like...
By Kingo you're talking about, right?
Yeah. So it's like... This... still part of MLW. Their current champions are the world champions from MLW. The tag team champions are from AEW. The fucking the women's champion is from Impact Wrestling, and their only freaking mainstay guys have all the titles that they barely focus on at all, and then the new titles they just brought back. The mixed tag team titles went to AEW talent.
Yep.
How are you supposed to build your brand when you don't even use the titles like Impact did? Impact used Christian Cage to get over Josh Alexander. Then to get over Moose. And then got over Josh Alexander again. And they got over 3 guys in that program.
Originally Kenny Omega was going to put over the guy they gave the Mega Championship to, but then he had to call out because I'm hurt. I kind of virtually handicapped myself in the last 4 years alone.
Yeah. I felt like one match, by the way, no one really talked about that Kenny Omega really got messed up in, too, in that time, was the Sami Callihan match, too, at Slammiversary.
The best match I was talking about.
Yeah. Yep. And then, I mean, I think there was, like, one other match that he had a DDT, right?
In the Lights Out match at Full Gear. Remember, Glass was involved.
Yeah.
Barbed wire.
And there was also one in DDT as well.
Yeah.
Like, man, I'm gonna tell you guys, I've said the 2 toughest motherfuckers in the history of pro wrestling, actually maybe 3, are Jeff Hardy, Mick Foley's at the very top, Kurt Angle maybe at number 3, but Omega's definitely top 5 as toughest son of a bitches in the entire industry.
Yeah, getting up there.
Some people have complained that he won Wrestler of the Year in 2021. He deserved that for all that stuff he did.
Especially hindsight. Holy shit.
Yeah, he deserved that.
The fact that you wrestled that good alone at the health you were at is a fucking miracle in and of itself. I'm shocked he wasn't dead.
Yeah,
seriously.
And the fact he had hernia surgery, and here's the thing. Here's the thing that baffles me. Kenny Omega really thought, okay, I have all these injuries. Can I be back by February?
Yeah, he really wanted to be too. He is.
I
know he's trying to be back for Forbidden Door. That much I know he's trying to be back.
But here's the thing: reports came out. He is nowhere close to being ready.
Yeah.
And when I heard this, I was if I was Tony Khan and Kenny Omega told me I want to come back by February after I recover and everything, I was like,
Tony might be the voice.
I would have said this. Look, Mick Foley lost his ear to Vader in a wrestling house show, and he had more of a case to come back earlier than you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seriously, and that's a shoot. You're not wrong. Thank God for people like Tony Khan. Seriously, because Tony Khan's probably the only reason why Kenny Omega has not dropped dead in the ring already.
Absolutely.
You gotta remember. Imagine if he had signed with WWE and worked up.
Oh my God, he'd be in fucking way worse shape. Here's the thing about this too, Kenny, imagine they're on the road all the fucking time. Kenny Omega had a bit of a fucking a stomach on him by the end of his title run. We know why now. It's clear as day that he would have been at Chris Harris shape level if he was in WWE. Because he was that fucking banged up. There was no way he'd be able to find time to even keep his body to the level he was.
Absolutely.
Like, genuinely speaking. And by the way, that's not all. I think the weirdest part of it is that because there was reports that Tony was like, dude, you gotta fucking rest before he was supposed to drop the belt to Hangman. And Omega's like, listen, I'll rest when I drop the belt to Hangman. And
I think he's not...
Like, he wanted to drop the belt in AAA, like you said, but he's like, I'm telling you right now, fine, but Hangman, and that's it. You are not wrestling anymore. You are going to get you're going to get well. Yeah. That's it. That's the end of it.
I'm pretty sure if I remember, too, he didn't... the last 3 to 4 weeks of his title reign, I don't think he wrestled that. I think he just wrestled tag matches mainly after that.
Yeah, man.
He had
I've been saying this for months. Omega, AEW is fine. They have so much talent, they don't even know what to do with all of it. I know. You more than earned the break. You've more than helped AEW at this point.
Here's the thing. I wouldn't be surprised if Kenny thought this. I am convinced that Kenny was talking to his doctor saying, okay, Kenny, you can't do anything physical, you can't do anything... You said I can't do anything physical, correct? Correct. You got to rest easy, you got to slow down. Oh, you said physical. Can I still do my job as executive vice president? Can I still work partnerships? And can I still work on a video game? I regret being your doctor.
Yeah, man, that's probably not helping him any.
He's also producing matches. He produced Ryo versus Yuki Sakazaki, which was awesome. But
it's a blessing and a curse to be working this hard. Because I admire his fucking work ethic. I mean, holy shit, he's probably one of the hardest workers in the wrestling industry, period. But, man, fucking rest. You don't need to be doing... listen... And this isn't because you booked Maki Ito. I could give a shit about that at this point. We're way past that at this point. I want you to be okay. Fucking take a nap. You're okay. It's fine. Just take a nap. Not a permanent one. Just take a nap. Take a nap for a month. Wake up when... I can't say when September ends because we're not in that month yet. When May ends, that gives you about a week. No, okay. By the final week of June, finally wake up and then be like, okay, maybe I should take it easy. You could take it easy.
Take
a vacation. Take a vacation. Keep getting some therapy on your hurting parts. Keep doing what you need to do at a steady pace. We're okay with you being gone.
Yeah, but then you gotta remember
something else. You could have because you're so busy doing this, you don't even have you're not even in a relationship. Be happy.
Omega, listen. You will have a spot on the card if you're worried about that too. When you come back, you are fine. There's no reason to worry anymore. Like, you're a made man. You're good. Relax. God damn it.
Okay, now this is the part where you should also bring this up. Kenny is also probably under heavy mental strain because remember, Ukes and him are currently added with each other over the video game development he's working with.
Yes.
And how they're trying to co-opt it, like basically go all Dick Fox on David Fincher when he did Alien 3.
Which you know what I was worried about, but I've seen the gameplay trailer and I've seen more improvements on this AEW game than I have seen in WWE 2K games in the last fucking 7 years. So I think
there's another problem.
Go ahead.
How do you think he's feeling about Coda?
Oh yeah, big time. That's got to be weighing heavy on his mind. He said as much on Twitter, pretty much.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I wanted to bring this up. Michael Nakazawa came out on May 18th saying, "I have been in Japan since May 7th for my visa renewal. Of course, I have talked to him. I think I know what he wants. However, what they want from him could be different. I would like to talk to him still." Michael Nakazawa can't say who, but we know who he's talking about. He's talking about Coda.
Yeah, of course.
But, like, the fact that Kenny is like, okay, I cannot wrestle, but I will still find a way to be crazy. So I'm going to go ahead and produce matches. I'm going to go ahead and be part of the creative team. And I was like, dude, stop!
Yeah, please.
Fucking
stop finding loopholes.
Go home. Rest at home. If you're on Zoom, close the laptop and go into bed. If you want to be outside and enjoy the weather, lay on a lounge chair. Enjoy the weather. Read a manga. Watch anime. Do whatever the fuck makes you happy, bro. Stop worrying about wrestling.
I'm amazed he hasn't even like thought of wait. Oh, and what I'm about to say, he'll probably think this now if he sees this video, but he'll probably think, wait.
Oh, don't give him ideas.
I can do Being the Elite still, right?
Oh, fuck. Yeah, he was on Being the Elite. Who wasn't he?
Like Kenny's probably thinking, can I still be on Being the Elite, though? Kenny! Go
home! Fuck!
I'll be getting it now. 1, 2, 3. Kenny,
go home! Go the fuck to bed! God damn! Jesus Christ! All right, we're gonna take a commercial break off that. I think that's a good one. But before we do that, Eric, where can they find you? We're gonna bring up the plugs graphics. You're still gonna be on with us for the last segment of the show, but here's some plug it. Plug. Where can the fine people of YouTube find you?
They can find me at NRE The Wrestleverse. They can find me at Neo Reality Entertainment. They can find me at NRE Omni Gaming. They can find me on Anchor.fm for Neo Reality Collective Pop Culture News and Reviews Talk. They can find me on Twitter at Neo Reality ENT, short for entertainment, and you can follow me there and check out my content all over the place. I'm a busy man. I also have Patreon, and I'm looking for people to pay.
You could also find this man on ATW View as well. Him and I do ATW View with Noah Foster. He was supposed to be on here, but no fucking clue where he went. I assume he just went to sleep.
He's been abducted by bunnies.
Okay, no, he said he fell asleep long work day. So there we go. Well, hopefully we're doing you justice. Probably not, but we're actually making decent time than I thought we would without Noah. We're actually like an hour and 53 minutes in. So we're actually not doing bad. I mean, this will probably go 3 hours. We got a lot to talk about anyway with everything that's happened. So we'll be back very shortly here. Don't touch that dial. By the time we come back, we will be probably previewing Double or Nothing, talking about Slammiversary as well, which is also a stacked fucking card already. Maybe some of that sports entertainment garbage, probably, because there's the Red Crate of Hate coming up. as Noah so eloquently put it. There's that. I think there's a couple other things. There's a few things there. But we'll cover it all when we come back. Don't go anywhere.
A table from hell with the Psycho Asylum. An Iron Man match of factorial proportions. Man.
In this fight, I will melt you down to slag.
Versus Machine.
I calculate a 0.85% chance that you will win in your current condition.
Full Metal Mayhem. Colleen Horizon.
When you throw me into the wolves, I will return leading the pack.
Vera McGarden.
I'll do anything to be the warrior on top.
For the Athena title. Best friends turned bitter rivals. Johnny Star.
Don't get in the way of the star or you'll get burned.
James, the Archangel.
I'm the real star of this brand.
For the international title. The Outsider, Mark Young. The Executioner, Michael X. For the WYW World Heavyweight title. 2 out of 3 fall.
Inside.
In a hell in a cell. WYW Immortal. Now available on YouTube.
Hibiki TMD on YouTube, retro gaming, pro wrestling, podcast, Terry Bollea, Hibiki Honors, Hibiki Quickie, everything in between. Hit that subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at the Hibiki TMD. And hey! Watch out for pedestrians, pal! You on the bike! Slow down! Hit that subscribe down below. Check us out at the Hibiki TMD on Twitter, Hibiki TMD on YouTube. Oh, the goddamn goodness.
If you like the content that you saw today, make sure you check out For the Win Productions and subscribe to the affiliates of this conglomerate. A Simple Man Studios, Insanity Works Studios, Genelee's Beauty Slam, J. Hebert Studios, Wrestling Fortune 44 Incorporated, Owen the Talkinator Studios, and of course, Weymouth Youth Wrestling. All in the J. Hebert Side 95 modules. Subscribe today.
The K won't stop.
Alright, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. Back
Alright, so,
we were talking about Kenny Omega during the commercial break because he's absolutely insane.
Yeah, he's a crazy man. But yeah, let's pivot back. Let's go back to speaking
of AEW.
Let's go back to AEW. Let's talk about the card for Double or Nothing a little bit. We won't do predictions. We'll just kind of preview a little bit.
Yeah, if you could for us, Eric, because you've been pretty good with you've been helping us out where Noah would have been able to. Can you look up the card for us, please?
We got 10 matches. We might also get an 11th match. There's rumors that we might get a mixed tag team match with Sammy and Tag Conti and.
I mean, it's not rumored. We might as well just say it's pretty much official at this point. I also want to say mixed tag team match there, and also TNT title match between Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian.
Yeah. Actually, Eric, can I see? I'm usually pretty good with this stuff. Can I see if I can guess every single match that's on the show, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. So I know we have the AEW World Championship match between Heyman, Adam Page, and CM Punk. I'm actually looking forward to that match. I think the feud needs a little bit more venom, but I think the final face-off this week going to take care of that.
Definitely going to take care of that for sure. I think they were stunted a week because of Hangman Page's COVID scare.
Yeah, definitely.
Not much you could really do there.
And I think CM Punk had a commitment the week. The next week too. So
There was not much they can do. This is like I think this might be the only promo face-off that they have. So this is going to be really interesting this week.
I had an encounter last week, but it was brief.
Yeah, brief.
In my opinion, I'm still looking forward to the match, and not every feud needs to be a 5-star, throw everything in there. The match is going to sell itself too. You know what I mean? CM Punk,
for sure.
The storyline's about CM Punk getting back to the top. That's all I really need. I feel like that's just a common complaint. You can have storyline, but not every single. You don't need to have a long drawn out storyline all the time.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, this is the long drawn out story was Hangman Page's rise to the championship, and then the championship run himself. Punk's storyline was, can he still do this? And then the feud with MJF. They've had two long-term storylines for their characters, and then now this is their crossroads to the title. Like,
absolutely
perfect. It's.
I think you have matches that should definitely have been put on a poster, and you should have sold it. I will forever say this: the Revenge versus 17 should have been a main event match at WrestleMania. They should have put that on the poster.
Yeah.
That would make no sense. Wyatt wants revenge. He has the title. Cena wants to stop the Fiend, but he wants to break the record. You had the perfect poster. You could have sold that alone. And you went with Goldberg.
Yeah. Anyhow, though, let's see if I can guess the other matches on the show. I know we're going to have Thunder Rosa defending the AEW Women's World Championship against Serena Deeb.
Which
I'm looking for
Straight Edge Society reunion. The Straight Edge Society has now conquered AEW again.
Holy shit! I didn't even think about that. I didn't even clock that. Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to this match, though. I think this will be exciting. You know, this goes back to their feud in the NWA, which I think is pretty cool. So.
Yeah, especially since Serena Deeb beat Thunder Rosa for the title.
Yeah.
For the NWA Women's title.
Yeah, you want to talk about a bombshell, by the way, that she dropped on Wednesday with the whole perverts thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
That was crazy. Holy shit.
And then I know
that was guaranteed.
And then I know we're gonna have for the World Tag Team titles, we're gonna have Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus defending against Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland and Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hubs.
That's gonna be fucking fun, man. I'm looking forward to this.
I'm glad that they put Powerhouse Hobbs and I'm glad that they put Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland in the match. I could make the question whether or not they're doing 2 triple threat tag matches, you know, in 2 pay-per-views in a row. But
I thought the same thing, but at least this is different than the other triple threat tag match, whereas you had 2 very well established best in the world fucking tag teams that were defending the belts here. These are tag teams that are literally their style.
Absolutely.
Jungle Boy's the little guy. Luchasaurus is the big guy. Shane Strickland is the small guy, and then Keith Lee's the big guy. Ricky Starks is the small guy. Powerhouse Hobbs is the big guy. So I'm really looking forward to how all these teams mesh together.
Oh, by the way, if you haven't heard, we're gonna get a 3-way dance. Jungle Boy versus Ricky Starks versus Swerve Strickland on Dynamite. And I was like, that's in of itself.
I can't wait for that. I hope to follow that up on Rampage, we get the battle of the big guys in singles matches. I'd be for that. It's like, okay, nice little preview here.
Another match on the show I know will be the TBS Women's Championship match. Jade Cargill versus Anna Jay. Not really looking forward to this, to be honest. I'm not really a big Jade Cargill fan. I don't really think she's all that good, but
she's definitely improved, at least. Like, I will say this much. On TV, it's been more character work.
Absolutely.
But I think that's to hide her greenness. But every match on pay-per-view she's had, she's absolutely gotten better. I'm looking forward to what she could do in the ring now that she's had a few more months, especially with Danielson training her. That's going to be interesting to see.
We will trade Jade Cargill in British wrestling.
Oh man, and Regal's there too now. I didn't even clock that.
And now in the baddie section, I think has really boosted her title reign now too.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, I just had a thought. Imagine Jade Cargill trades green for black.
Think about it. Think about this, by the way. We got the TBS champion. You could easily have the other two go for the other 2 world titles. You could have them go for the Ring of Honor Women's World title. You could have them go for the AEW Women's World title easily.
Yeah.
So that would be interesting to see an all-women's faction hold all the gold in the women's division. I wouldn't even be opposed to it because, like, Red Velvet's impressed the shit out of me. And Kira Hogan, we know how good she is from her days in Impact and onward. So,
yeah,
I wouldn't be opposed.
Another match on the show I know is going to be the Anarchy Rules match or whatever it's called, the Blackpool Combat Club, Eddie Kingston Well, the Blackpool Combat Club.
Anarchy in the Arena is what they're calling it. Okay. It's basically Anarchy Worlds. Hey, Tony, how you doing?
Yeah, but anyhow, yeah, it's gonna be the Blackpool Combat Club minus Willa Yuta, Eddie Kingston, Santana and Ortiz versus the Jericho Appreciation Society. Really looking forward to this match. Really excited for it. I think this is gonna be a hell of a match.
This is gonna be a street fight, man. Like, no doubt, this is gonna be fun.
I don't think this is gonna be like the blow off to like the Eddie Kingston Chris Jericho.
No,
I think they're gonna.
No, I'm pretty sure we're gonna get blood and guts on that.
Yeah, for sure.
Or I think they're gonna blow it off at All Out. They're gonna carry it out at least till then. Like
I don't think you can. I think it's gotta be done at Blood and Guts. What I think they genuinely should do is that they really should have the Jericho Appreciation Society go over by the miscommunication them building up.
Yeah.
Because I think the better matchup is the entirety of the Jericho Appreciation Society versus LAX in full. Eddie Kingston, Santana, Ortiz, Homicide, Hernandez. That's the money match to me.
Yeah.
If you're doing Blood and Guts, that's the money match that makes sense to me.
Was it? I don't. I was gonna say Hernandez. I was gonna say I don't think Hernandez, but I forgot he was in. I think Hernandez was in Impact recently.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
And it's not like Homicide's back in NWA, but he's made appearances for AEW before. He made an appearance on the Grand Slam show on Rampage. So
I think Homicide would be better. I don't even understand why he's in the end. He's better off in AEW anyway. That's much better style for him. You know?
Yeah, for sure. Especially with the people in there now.
Yeah. All right. Another match on the show I know is going to be MJF versus Wardlow. We kind of talked about this already. I don't really think we need to talk about it again. I know we're going to have Death Triangle versus the House of Black. This will be very
I'm really
exciting.
intrigued on how these two teams mesh because this is the first actual official match we're getting between these two teams.
No,
the first encounter was with Eric Redbeard, which was still a pretty good match. I'm pretty sure that was Eric Redbeard's best match to date.
Oh yeah, for sure, no doubt. That was his best showing. He fucking looked great. Like that was the best I've ever seen him, and he was pulling his weight too. Like he wasn't getting carried or anything. Like he really did great in that match. Like no cap.
Now the question I have for you is, I'm assuming this feud's been going on for this long because of Wade Phoenix's injury and probably COVID, because I think Pac had to probably go to the UK.
Yes.
So, all right. So you said how many? We've listed 10. Oh, we're gonna have the buy-in match. I'm looking forward to this just for the shits and giggles of it. It's gonna be Dan Hookhausen versus Tony Nese and Mark Sterling. I'm really looking forward to this.
I got
this up there. Does anyone get Rocket Sock Connection vibes with Hook and Dan Hansen?
Yeah, absolutely.
To me, it's different because it's very different. Because Rock and Sock, The Rock, while he was a serious act, he was a serious act in that he could roast anybody and get away with it and back it up in the ring. He was comical on the mic because of the insults he would throw. And Mick Foley was the freaking determined goofball character that also happened to be a crazy, sadistic son of a bitch, but they were both serious competitors. We're dealing with two drastic contrasts here. We're dealing with a full-on comedy gimmick who comedy wrestles versus a straight-up serious Donnie who has suplexed motherfuckers on their heads no matter what size you are.
What did you guys think of that?
I gotta ask, I'm surprised Taz has been like, I approve!
Yeah. It's Taz, though. He takes the shit out of everything, so... Did you watch him on Dark last week? He was making bear noises doing Bear Country. He was making bear
noises. Is Taz ever gonna bring this up with Hook?
Yeah. Did anyone... I know this is off topic. How hilarious, by the way, was that match of Tony Nese and Denhausen? That was hilarious. That
was pretty fucking funny, yeah.
That was hilarious.
I enjoyed it. Everybody thought he was going to get a full-on match, and then he just got squashed. Now, if only that could have happened to Maki Ito versus Britt Baker. Anyway, next...
I really doesn't matter anyways if he gets squashed, because he's going to be over regardless, too. Anyways,
no doubt, yeah.
How many matches have I said? Is that all 10?
I believe you're like halfway there.
Alright, so I got 5. We have the 2 Owen Hart tournaments. Let's just... I'm assuming that's going to be Samoa Joe and Kyle O'Reilly who qualify for... Samoa Joe and Adam Cole who qualify for the men. Because that seems like the most obvious.
In the finals, we just need to wait for Kyle O'Reilly or Samoa Joe.
I assume it's going to be Samoa Joe just because I think, they'll want to do... I think it's too... I know they just did it. They just recently did an NXT, like Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. I don't need to see them wrestle for a while. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, that's right.
I think it makes more sense for Joe to qualify anyways, because I think, they want to do, like, the face and heel thins, and I think it makes more sense for Adam Cole to beat, like, a baby face if he's going to qualify, if he's going to win the tournament and stuff.
Yeah.
Are we all in agreement on that, or does everyone...
I agree with you on that. There's also the women as well. I'm sure it's going to be Ruby Soho versus Red Velvet from the looks of things. Or it could be...
No.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Red Velvet. Yeah, Red Velvet got eliminated. I'm sorry. She lost.
Charlie Storm, Britt Baker versus Ruby Soho or Chris Statlander.
I think there's actually a good chance it could be Baker. It could be Baker and Soho again, but and Soho wins it. But I kind of wanna. This is intriguing. Like I'm happy with either result actually, because I would love to see Britt and Statlander again. I'd love because we haven't seen that match in a while. I would love to see Soho and Tony, and I'd love to see Baker and Soho again.
Ruby.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm happy with either result here, but we get in the finals there regardless.
Yeah, I think. If I had to say which one I would prefer, I would probably prefer to see Ruby and Britt. I think Ruby should win the whole thing.
Yeah, because that makes the most sense. Yeah, for sure.
Because I think like a babyface should win. Because I think if Adam Cole, who's like one of the biggest heels in the company, is gonna win, I think like we need a feel good babyface to win the Owen Hart tournament. And I think it should be Ruby Soho.
What else you got? What else do we have other than the?
I believe we have the Hardys versus the Young Bucks.
I'm ready for that. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they're not going all in with no DQ, so we could go crazy.
You know what? We've already done that once. Don't have it overstay its welcome though.
Yeah, but you realize this is the Young Bucks and the Hardys. They would try and go berserk with it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what else is on. So is that it?
That's all of them.
Yeah, you said 10, so I think that's everything because so the only matches I could see like getting added is that mixed tag team match, but unless you do gotta remember though, AEW also has a tendency to announce matches for the next. I could see the mixed tag being on the Dynamite after Double or Nothing. So
do not forget Kazarian and Scorpio Sky for the TNT title, which, by the way, people, one belt was destroyed, the other wasn't. Calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
It's not that serious. We're okay. We still have a TNT title that hasn't been fucking shown off yet. Remember, Dan Lambert still has the other one. You can just give that one to Scorpio, and there we go.
There's a good chance, by the way, that the one that Sammy and Sammy and Frankie destroyed was the interim one that Sammy won all that time ago too. It probably wasn't even the one that they made.
Exactly. So chill, people. Fuck. Anyway, yeah. Those are probably the 2 matches that I could see getting added as well. That makes 12 matches so far, right?
Yeah.
The only other match that I genuinely could see, just for a showcase opportunity. Genuinely could see Gresham and Lethal on this card. Even if it's on the buy-in.
Gresham is still hurt. I think he's still concussed.
Is he still concussed?
Then at
the very least, we're going to be seeing Samoa Joe defending the television title somehow.
If he loses to Kyle O'Reilly, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only other match I could see happening. It's either going to be against that Satnam Singh, which is a freak show act, or it's going to be... or it's going to be... Well, it could be Sanjay.
Okay.
Could be Sanjay. Sanjay could still go. He's no slouch.
I haven't seen him wrestle in a while, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, well, we'll just say he could still do the moonsault stop. I've seen him do the backflips.
All right, let's pivot back over to WWE for a little bit.
Yeah, and then we'll cover Impact because they're celebrating 20 years.
Something that, speaking of celebrating, since you just brought it up, NXT UK recently celebrated their 200th episode. I figured, we would kind of talk about it for a little bit. I thought that was it's pretty crazy that NXT UK's lasted this long, because I didn't think it would because of the COVID pandemic and, with all the stuff all the changes Vince made to NXT and everything, I didn't think NXT UK would be around.
It will be gone sooner than you think. Don't worry.
I wonder if Vince even knows it's a thing. He's like,
UK? There's a UK brand?
Yeah.
Get our paws on it.
But yeah, here's the thing. If NXT UK goes, what happens to the UK wrestling scene, really?
Oh, it's dead. I mean, you got Progress, but they're in bed with WWE. ICW's in bed with the WWE.
Yeah.
So the only other fucking UK promotion's Rev Pro.
Yeah,
and World Entertainment Series, I would say is another promotion, but the problem with Wrestling Entertainment Series is they just use a bunch of former WWE guys, at least for their first show. So, by the way, did you hear the main event on that Wrestling Entertainment Series card that's happening in the UK?
What?
Ready for this? Adam Shear, the former Braun Strowman, versus the MMA fighter that beat Brock Lesnar in his final UFC bout before Hunt. Not Evander Holyfield. I'm thinking of boxing, idiot. Alistair Overeem.
I did see that. I didn't know it was.
I was like, what the fuck? What? I'm actually curious to see how Alistair does, because it's either gonna suck ass or he's gonna really surprise me. Like, I'm actually going to watch this full card.
Like, I'm kind of nervous. He should, because how big is this? I've never seen this guy. Like, how big is it? Like, how big is this guy?
Dude, he's fucking huge. Like, the dude's a brick shithouse. Like, legitimately. Okay. Like, I'm sure a lot of roids have something to do with it, but also, he's still a brick shithouse.
There's been an update on the show coming up there.
Go ahead.
But anyhow, back to like the.
Hold on, wait. Oh. I want to hear the update real quick.
Will Ospreay had to quit, had to call out because he has a serious kidney infection.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So there's a high probability he could miss Forbidden Door if it progresses worse.
Oh. No Omega or Ospreay, that saddens me.
I know.
But since we're going to go back to WWE, I just found out what Ronda Rousey revealed on her Facebook gaming stream. You know, that third-party software she's allowed to do. Because she's Ronda Rousey.
Go ahead.
Ronda Rousey pitched this, and please know, WWE was like, that's a stupid idea. We're not doing it. Please don't. That's saying something. Ronda Rousey pitched this. So they had an I Quit match with Charlotte and Ronda. Ronda won. We all know that. Hijinks ensue. Yada, yada, yada. Apparently, Ronda pitched Drew Gulak getting involved and getting punched around every time.
Why didn't that guy leave when he had the chance?
Yeah, that was Ronda's idea. Hey, Drew Gulak, do you want to come out here and get your, beaten every single second while we're fighting?
Fuck off. I love Drew Gulak too, man. And I actually like Rousey too, but no.
Yeah.
Nah, that's...
Yeah.
Glad they shut that down. Although, it wouldn't have surprised me if they decided to revisit it and be like, yeah, that's funny, let's do it anyway.
Well, we had him humiliate him on TV as Adam Pearce's lackey. I don't know why.
Let me guess, he's doing PowerPoint presentations in his office, right?
I don't even know. I don't watch it. But here's what I have been hearing, and when I heard this, I was like, oh my god, you have a great match right here. You could do great matches with these two. Why are you making it a squash match?
Yeah.
Drew Gulak has been being squashed by Walter. They don't even do a full match with the two.
God damn it.
You have money right there. Let's make it a boss match.
Well, I mean, WWE is already making their money hand over fist, and they don't need to fucking worry about the consumer's money.
Anyhow, though, back to, NXT UK, like I said, had its 200th episode a couple weeks ago. It was actually a hell of a 200 episode. The biggest thing that came out of it was Ilya Dragunov retained his belt against Jordan Devlin, and whoever lost had to be kicked off the brand, so that makes me kind of question what Jordan Devlin is going to be doing now, if he's going to go to regular NXT, or I'd like to see him I'd like to see him out of the company, because quite frankly, I worry about him because
look at how they treated Finn Balor. There you go.
Yeah,
they're start with him, and they're so start with him. Imagine what they'll do with a guy like Jordan. Seriously,
yeah, absolutely.
He's got no shot up there.
And I guess a question I have of everybody, since it did have its 200th episode recently, does anyone have any memories of NXT UK that you want to share, or no?
My favorite memory of NXT UK, honest to God, there were two, because I watched both of these matches, even though I was on my anti-WWE craze for a while.
Yeah.
Ilya Dragunov versus Walter, and Walter versus Tyler Bate.
Yeah.
Those are my two high points, and Walter versus Pete Dunne at NXT TakeOver New York.
Yeah, those three too. Those
are my three top memories. Basically, anything with Walter in it. Anything with Walter. I'll be honest with NXT UK, man. Without Walter, they were fucked.
Yeah,
they really were fucked.
If I had to say some of my favorite memories of NXT UK is obviously the both tournaments, especially when Mustache announced their NXT tag belts, the Pete Dunne Tyler Bate matches. Even though COVID kind of screwed it up when Jordan Devlin won the Cruiserweight Championship, that was cool.
That was really cool. I love that. Yeah.
And then even though it's not a good memory, just because of the experience, how badly Coda ended up being, and then we found out that everyone loved it, so I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, you and I and Dodd and Mike and everybody in the freaking rundown Indie Force clique all hated this show. I don't know what happened. I don't know why people liked it, but for me, it was just I hated it so much, much.
Another memory I do have of it is when just a couple more. Alexander Wolf reappearing after we thought he had been released and forming Imperium being formed to begin with.
Until he got injury prone, and then they fucking released him again.
Yeah, and then Cesaro going to NXT UK and having that great match with the Ilya Dragunov. And just for shits and giggles, in a sense, Cassius Ohno going over there just so James could shit on him.
Yeah, I was not a big Chris Hero guy by the time. It's funny because now I found out he has a condition now, right? About his weight.
I think.
Yeah. So it's hindsight, didn't know that, but now that I know that, I feel bad because fuck, man, I fucking destroyed him every chance I could, not realizing that he had a medical condition the whole time.
And if we're going to, I'll do some stuff from the women's division. I would say Rhea Ripley, even though it wasn't supposed to happen, becoming the first NXT UK Women's Champion.
Yeah, Rhea for sure. Rhea and Tony was a decent match.
Yeah,
I would say
that's it. Maybe that's it.
That's probably it for the women's division.
Maybe.
I think there was one good match between Kaylee Ray and Toni Storm. No, not the triple threat match where they made Tony cry. I think it was
No, the triple. It was the one-on-one. The triple threat match was the good one with Piper Niven.
Was it? Oh yeah, you're right.
The I Quit match was really good too.
I did not see the I Quit match, so I can't comment.
I think without NXT UK too, I feel like we wouldn't know Noah, Colin Andrew, and all the other people we came into contact with the NXT team. So without NXT UK, we don't know Noah and all that type of stuff. So that's good. So
yeah, fair enough.
And also too, we should talk about Grizzled Young Veterans. Because they were really
yes, you can't mention NXT UK without mentioning Zach Gibson. He's such a fucking.
Do you remember actually?
I still think that team is fucking stupid, but Zach Gibson is fucking awesome.
Do you remember like when we saw the tournament for the very first time? You and I both thought that Zach Gibson was going to be like out in the first round because he had jobber entrance music or something.
Yeah, jobber entrance music, and he had a basic look to him, and he looked pissed off at the world, and for no reason, and then he got on the mic and spoke, and I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, alright. Oh, I get it now. I get exactly why he looks the way he does and has the music he has.
Yeah. And even though these names didn't go anywhere, the people we should talk about that I really liked seeing out of the division was Joseph Connors was a cool addition to the division, and even though he didn't go anywhere, and Killer Kelly. You
know what? We're really dumb not mentioning this. The run of Mako Satomura.
Yeah.
That's a fucking big one that I don't want to forget. Mako Satomura has fucking crushed it with that belt and that division.
I would say the one of Ilya Dragunov. Remember, like, we talked about how green he was and how he couldn't really talk on the mic much? He's improved.
Oh my god, yeah, he is. Absolutely he is.
Well, speaking of that, there was a rumor going around for a little bit. Luckily, it was confirmed not true.
Go ahead.
That WWE was going to punish him and strip him of the NXT UK title.
Yeah, thank God they didn't.
Huh? For what? For what?
For getting over, probably?
No, not that. No, not that. What? They were going to punish him because of what Putin's doing right now.
Oh, fuck off.
I don't even know what that is.
Has not... dude, Putin's
because
fucking
Dragunov, dude, sins of the nation.
Putin's fucking midlife crisis has nothing to do with Dragunov. Fuck off. Jesus
it's sort
Christ.
Of like what happened with legit Layla Hirsch. People try to cancel her because she's Russian, therefore she's guilty.
Yeah, well, tell that. I think that's fucked, and fuck all you for trying to do that. How about that?
Yeah.
I don't like what their government's doing, but that doesn't mean the fucking people have to. They don't deserve your wrath. Fuck off.
It's like when people would boo Mansoor when he would come out.
Yeah, it's not Mansoor's fault. He's from a fucking shitty ass third world country. The dude's great in the fucking ring. I wish I could see more of him if he wasn't fucking with that cesspool of a company. I wish they didn't just make him the token Saudi Arabia boy and actually featured him as a wrestler constantly on television. But no.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that annoyed me. He had a long undefeated streak going. They never even made a story about it. They were just like, "Oh, he has a streak going." Okay.
No, because it doesn't fit the narrative, Eric. I mean,
but wasn't that? But WWE was only pushing him because of the Saudi deal. Wouldn't it make sense to just push him because he had the streak going for him?
Yeah. Especially too, like.
Do they push anybody? That makes sense.
Well, I could go ahead and reference Gunther Stark.
Oh yeah, don't even mention that.
Or we could talk about Bush.
I will never call those motherfuckers by those names ever. Oh, and by the way, I will never call. And by the way, the other two were like whatever, but at least they kept their fucking names before this. I will never call Walter by that name, and I will never call Pete Dunne by that cursed name, and I will never call Eli Drake by the current name that he has. You pissed me off so bad that LA Knight was actually a decent name. I'm now going back to Eli Drake, you fucks.
What's even his new name? I don't even remember what it is.
Oh, you don't want to know. No, we don't mention. We're not mentioning it. Those words will not be uttered while I'm on the air. Fuck
Well,
that.
I will say this. Sheamus finally revealed his faction's name with Ridge Holland, who I completely forgot about, and Pete Dunne. They're called the Brawling Brutes.
Yeah.
That is such an 80s name. I'm trying to wonder if Vince finally caught up.
I just gotta ask a question, like, because some people, you know, I've talked.
By the way, to answer your question, Max Dupree.
Okay.
God damn it! Fuck you.
The question I have is like, because I've had debates about this with some of my friends and stuff, and the thing that sucks about it, he's kind of like everyone's just gonna get used to these names, and it's just gonna be like the Cesaros, the.
No, these names I will refuse to call them by. I will never get used to them, and I will preach that till the choirs come home. If you are on a program with me that isn't Eric being an Agent of Chaos, if you're on a program with me, you are to call them by their names that actually make sense, and not by their fucking slave names that they go by in the Fed. Thank you. Fuck you. Bye.
What can I call? Am I allowed to call Eli Drake LA Knight, or did this new name, is that not allowed now?
Yeah,
I don't get why they changed
call him
it.
that. I don't know either. Because that was a good ass name, actually. That was like one of the few good names.
Like, here's the thing. At least I got why they changed LA Drake to LA Knight because, well, trademark and BS stuff.
Whatever,
but
yeah.
Why
but at least it was good.
Again?
At least it was good. No, they have to change the name because it's like... No, it's because they want to get away from Triple H's NXT as humanly possible. That's why.
You know what the funny thing is, too? Like, Triple H, when he had to do this, he came up with way better names than Vince ever could.
Yeah, of course. Like, it's not a shock. But yeah.
Here's something else that stuns me about Pete Dunne and what he did. I feel sorry for him. He had to come out on interviews and say, I am excited about my name change. I definitely don't have a gun point to my head.
Yeah.
You mean like everybody in that company?
Yeah.
Until they just get sick of it and decide I'm fucking done, like Cesaro, Naomi, and Sasha did.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Remember how I kept saying how Butch was a reference to the Hall of Famer Butch because, oh, LOL, funny. Referential humor.
Haha, Butch Reed. So his name's Butch. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. What are you, fucking 5?
Oh, it's actually way worse.
Oh, Bushwhackers? You fucking... Oh, I'm sorry, you're 3.
It's actually way worse than I thought.
Can you even count that high? Lord knows you don't let your referees have names, so you probably think, oh, they can't count.
How worse is it, Eric?
Okay, I thought they gave him the name because it's referential humor. No, it's actually stupider. Turns out it's a hand-me-down. Because they originally were going to call Bull Dempsey back in NXT Butch. He said no. So basically they were like, let's look at this old list. Okay, let's give it to Pete Dunne.
Hey, how about this one too? Butch was the name they came up with. I'm still convinced that was the name they came up with as a substitute for Budge. Adam Cole's manager nickname that he would have had if he were to be called up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I can't believe they were going to do that to Adam Cole. No wonder why the guy... Because Adam Cole was supposed to be...
Here's the thing about Adam Cole and that manager talk. He said he never heard anything about that, but he did confirm they told him, we want to shave your hair.
Yep. That tells you a lot, so there you go. Before we run out of time, I want to talk about the Impact 20-year anniversary. So we're talking about anniversaries. Okay. Impact is celebrating their 20th anniversary with Slammiversary. And they have a pretty damn stacked card as well this upcoming this week. So the week before Forbidden Door, Slammiversary's happening. Jesus Christ. And then like the week before that, I think is the Hell in a Cell. So, like, if you're, as I said, if you're covering everything, you got a busy week. But that Slammiversary card, if somebody can get it up, that would be great. Eric, you could just run down it, speedrun if you can find it.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me see if there's been any updates to it. So far, we only have 3 matches. Josh Alexander versus Eric Young, Ace Austin versus Kenny King versus Speedball Mike Bailey versus Trey Mangle, or Alex Shelley versus To Be Determined versus To Be Determined. But the biggest match that was announced, world main event, will be Tasha Steele versus Chelsea Green versus Jordan Grace versus Mia Yim and Deanna Purrazzo, because the Impact Knockouts World Championship will be defended in a Queen of the Mountain match.
I'm actually really looking forward to this. A lot of people don't like the King of the Mountain gimmick. I've actually always been a fan of it, unironically. I think it's actually the most innovative concept that they've had besides the Ultimate X.
The only thing I don't like, the only thing I don't like is, I hope they change it. I hope they don't have to make you put the belt. Like, I don't like that you have to.
I've always liked that aspect of it. You know why? Because I don't believe that people are struggling to climb and up a ladder because they were battered and hurt and they just forgot how to climb a ladder. Right? I can believe that it's hard to climb a fucking ladder while you're holding the fucking championship around your shoulder.
That's fair.
That's believable to me.
It could be worse. They could just do a reverse battle royale like they did in Impact.
Yeah, let's not go into that.
It's just crazy to think that Impact's been around for 20 years. You know what I mean? Because I don't.
How many times did we think this company was going to die? And now they're actually in the hottest. They might actually be in the best shape they've ever been in. Honest to God, financially.
Only they could get a better network deal.
Yeah, right.
Here's the thing that stunned me. Here's the thing. OVW landed a deal probably with Netflix.
Yeah.
Really? That's weird.
Yeah.
That's wild. I actually have Netflix.
Yeah, because Netflix is, ever since they had their crash going on for them,
trying to find anything.
Actually, they said, they're trying to try anything. They had that big crash because
Just
Russia
put Impact on Netflix.
Yeah, but here's the thing. OVW reportedly landed a deal for a reality-based show on a major streaming platform. They haven't confirmed what it was, but it is said it most likely is Netflix.
So that's gonna be its own standalone show. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's more wrestling.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It's either Netflix, Hulu, but here's the third one that was shocking. That I was like, no way they would do that. No way would they allow that.
Go ahead.
The third one was Peacock.
Yeah, no. Actually,
I was like, no.
Yeah, no.
If MLW can't get a deal with a minor streaming service that Fox just happens to own, what makes you think WWE's going to approve of Peacock?
Yeah, no way. You were saying, Owen, by the way, you were talking before that.
I was just saying, I think Impact has had like its when I started watching it again, I think it's had like its hottest years. I think it's been. Because I think it finally picked back up again like 2018, and then it's just been up from there. I think since Don Callis and Scott D'Amore took it over, and then obviously Don Callis has been gone for a while, but it's just crazy that this company's still around, because I remember you did a video on my channel like in 2015
about the missed opportunity for sure that they had. Went down an entire roster of people they could have had on their company if they actually did right by the talent and by the wrestling fans.
Funny thing is, I think most of that talent now has been in probably an Impact.
Which is fucking hilarious, because almost everybody that I mentioned that isn't signed to the E, just about everybody showed up there at one point or another. Yeah. And they have the deal with New Japan back, and they have new talent, and they have rising stars. Their X division might be the best it's ever been since the class of 05.
And Moose wants to join in on the fun.
And it's so much so that Moose wants to join in. It's crazy, man, right now. Every division, their Knockouts division's hitting on all fronts. Their their X division is the best it's been. Their tag division's stacked. Their main event is fucking crazy.
The digital media division's really good. You get like a match.
The digital media division is something innovative, and your fucking Knockouts tag titles actually are cared about, and they have arguably they've had less teams than the WWE do in all three brands combined.
Yeah.
They have less teams than the WWE do. How sad is that? And they care about the women's tag division.
But there's the kicker in all this.
Yeah.
They have their own big top franchise player they could invest in with Matt Cardona.
Yeah.
Who's currently running around with the belt collector stuff.
And not just that. I mean, you also have the Bullet Club there. You have Honor No More there. The Kingdom are basically there. You have the you have the Gorillas of Destiny showing up there, I'm sure. You have the world champion is Josh Alexander, and Steve Maclin's had a career renaissance. The former, what was his name in WWE? I don't even know. Steve Cutler. He's had a career renaissance in Impact. I want to see him versus Alexander so bad at Battle for Glory, you don't even know. Like they have gotten so good. That's how bad I want to see this match.
It's crazy to think too, by the way, that like all this Bullet Club dissension with the Gorillas of Destiny. You know where that started? That started on Impact.
On Impact. Impact and New Japan have been the biggest Forbidden Door revolver, like, in the industry, for sure.
If you think about it, Impact is the epicenter of all of it.
In America, they are the epicenter. In Japan, New Japan's the epicenter, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, but, like, think about it. They got AEW with the hanging out. They had AEW talent, their top talent there. They had New Japan, and they for like a month they had WWE.
AEW, New Japan, they gotta fucking deal with the Fed. They have AAA talent, they have Noah talent, they have all these different types of talent coming through.
They had ROH talent.
Their ROH talent, yep.
NWA,
and they have
NWA, yeah. Just about everybody you can think of.
There is something else I've been hearing about, what Scott D'Amore's trying to do for Impact.
Go ahead.
And when I heard this, I was like, this was reported about 10 hours ago. Scott D'Amore was like, so, I want to see someone enter our door and have a title shot for the X Division title. Hiromu, are you up for it?
Oh, Takahashi? Yeah.
I like that.
I'm ready for Takahashi for sure.
Well, Hiromu Takahashi, there is an open door for you. Walk through. Come step in an Impact ring. Your title shot awaits.
I'm ready for it, man. I'm all for it, man. Like, that sounds like a barn burner for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, Impact is looking ready, man. Prime and ready to have a card of the year themselves, and this is we're gonna have a busy fucking 6 weeks of wrestling, man. All kicking off with Double or Nothing. Holy shit! I do not envy anybody that covers all of this stuff, because you have a busy fucking 6 weeks ahead.
I'm just saying this. I wish they got a better deal. I hope they get a better deal, because a lot of people are missing out on this insanity.
Yeah, no, Impact's, I can tell you right now, every Impact show that I have seen so far, I have not been disappointed. Seriously, I've enjoyed my time watching Impact lately. Definitely give it a watch when you can, if you can. Even the TVs are a lot better now than what they used to be. One company that's also making yet another resurgence, despite the doldrums of the reign of terror from all this. NWA is back on the good graces with Matt Cardona as their champion. We mentioned him on Impact earlier as a digital media champion. Also the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion. AlwayZ ready. He has his own fucking pay-per-view with the NWA. Holy shit. Coming up. That's gonna be fucking crazy. I'm ready for this. Yeah, man. Like, what's even on that card? Has anything been announced on that? Because
check.
I feel like that's gonna be a one-match show, because I'm sure that's Alders versus Cardona, which I am looking forward to as a match for sure.
It will be him versus, and it's either gonna be a cage match or some type of massacre match, because the match at a hard time. No, the Crockett Cup ended in controversy. So
I hope it's cage, because that's more traditional. But it wouldn't surprise me if Matt Cardona's like, "No, we're gonna do this GCW rules, fucker," just to spit all over the title, just to be a heel. You know,
this was the reported matches apparently for NWA's Always Ready. If this is the correct card, it takes place on June 11th, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, that means this is the right one. For what I'm reading from CageMatch.net, we're gonna have Taya Valkyrie versus Natalia Markovia, if I pronounced that right.
Sure.
The Hex versus Pretty Empowerment. Empowered.
Yeah, their women's tag division's not that bad either, huh?
It's decent, yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna have Tyrus, that guy who just exists, versus Mims.
Not a fan of Tyrus.
No.
I understand. We have Le Rebellion versus the Commonwealth Connection. We have Jax.
Who the hell are either one of those teams?
The Commonwealth Connection is Douglas Williams and Harry Smith.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. So basically, British Invasion with all this. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Because what happened is
Jax.
Hold on. You have all right. What happened? Tell the kayfabe.
So yeah, a couple of things. What happened with the Commonwealth is they were put together because Nick Aldis went for the NWA World's title, so they had to put them together in the Crockett Cup tournament.
Gotcha.
And Lowry Belliana, that tag team, it's B666, and I forget the other guy's name. Yeah.
Cool, I guess. All right, Eric, continue.
We also got Jack Stane versus Chris Adonis.
Not excited about that.
And we got.
How is Adonis in the ring at least?
I don't know.
Oh, and you.
Adonis is fine. It's just Jack Stane that's shit.
Oh boy.
He's
okay.
the NWA National Heavyweight Champion.
Well, it's funny that his name is Jack Stane. If he's shit, that means he's a shit stain. Anyway, continue.
We got Camille versus Kylan King.
Kylan King. Oh, Camille and Kylan King? Alright, you got my attention.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm about to break your attention. We're going to have the main event, the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Matt Cardona versus the Reign of Terror, Nick Aldis.
Well, no, I said I'm looking forward to that match.
Yeah.
I'm cool with it.
Oh,
I just hope the fuck that Cardona is still retaining, you know?
Yeah, that's the dreading part I thought you were gonna have.
Yeah, it is in the back of my mind, but as a match, I know it will be good because dude, anything will be better than Aldis versus Murdoch, and I like Murdoch as a person, but I'm sorry, no way that was gonna work.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Here's the thing about the main event match for Matt Cardona versus Nick Aldis. Cardona is pushing for a death match. Aldis is pushing for a steel cage match.
In storyline or shoot?
Storyline.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. That makes all the sense in the world. Are you kidding me? I mean, I hope as the heel, Cardona actually gets his way because that would be interesting.
Also,
see a death match in NWA. Although they've done death matches before with Dory Funk and Terry Funk involved in them, right?
Ric Flair
and Flair, yeah.
They did that. They did. I mean, this is like a recent example. They did like the Dawsons versus the Outlaw Inc. And that was.
That was a death match.
Well, they used like chairs and things like that. Like it wasn't like it was a bit breaking the mold for NWA.
I guess, sure. Anyway.
But yeah, plus I would assume Matt Cardona would have more of a case for a death match because he's the NWA World Champion, which means he has more pull.
Well, I mean, it depends on how they do it, but go ahead on.
I could see them doing something where like Billy Corgan says like you have to do like a beat the clock challenge or like something like that where like they have to earn their way to do it or something.
No, I got a better idea. they're gonna go with this. Okay. Let's combine both ideas.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Make the cage enclosed like it's War Games, but it's like Hell in a Cell.
Yes.
Yeah.
The deathmatch chamber. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Cool. Alright, so that's always ready. Coming up on June 11th. We ran down the Double or Nothing card. I guess that leaves, what, Hell in a Cell, right?
Yeah, but who really cares?
Yeah. Has anything
there is one thing I can bring up. It seems WoW and Tessa Blanchard might be going for legal action against one another.
That doesn't shock me at all. I honestly will... I'll save that for the next podcast. Because, obviously, I want Owen to give his thoughts when he's not dog tired. But let's just run down the... whatever the fuck Hell in a Cell is to wrap up this podcast.
I know the matches, so he doesn't even need to look them up. I don't know if any matches were added tonight. But Cody
There was. It's kind of stupid.
Alright, go ahead, Owen.
It's going to be Cody versus Seth Rollins inside the cell.
Inside the Red Crit Hate, you mean?
Yeah.
I could see, like, Roman Reigns facing Riddle.
He's not going.
Oh, he's not going.
Who is it then?
Wow.
Wait, Roman's not going or Riddle's not going?
No. Roman is set to build to fight Riddle, but it seems like Roman might be skipping Hell in a Cell because I'm Roman Reigns. I can do whatever I want. Plus, I'm no longer doing house shows. You're welcome.
I mean, honestly, I wasn't... You know why they're doing this part-time deal with him right now? Because they have nobody else to fucking challenge him for 12 months.
Yeah.
That's why.
That reminds me. Big update. The Rock confirmed it. He's not scheduled for any Hollywood commitments for the next 3 months. For the next 4 months.
I'll believe it when I see it. I'm not gonna believe it until it actually happens. And even then, like, whatever.
Yeah. There's still a few... He could easily get commitments between now and then.
Sure.
Yeah.
But anyhow, other matches I could see getting added. They should do AJ versus Edge in the cell because that makes sense, but they're not going to do that because they're dumb. They're going to do like a 6-person match with like AJ, Finn Balor, and because that's what WWE does. The matches at Hell in a Cell that make sense. They don't put them inside the cell unless it's Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins.
I do have an update, though. There was some updates added to the card.
Okay.
By the way, not for nothing, just one thing. Hell in a Cell, you've killed the gimmick to death anyway. Why not just make it a lockdown-style pay-per-view where Hell in a Cell, every match takes place in it?
Because then WWE's War Games wouldn't matter.
Okay, and? Nothing matters anyway!
Yeah, I know.
At least make it somewhat fucking interesting. Like, if you're gonna book this haphazardly, either fully commit to it or don't fucking just dip your fucking calves in it and then be like, oh, the water's too cold.
At least
let me tell you the matches that were added.
Hold on. Go ahead.
I was gonna say at least TNA committed to every match was inside a steel cage.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, what were the matches added? What we got?
Ezekiel versus Kevin Owens.
Who cares?
Okay. I'm interested in that.
Oh, Bobby Lashley versus Almost an MVP in a 2-on-1 handicap match.
You mean Almost?
Yeah. Oh, and this match got modified. Bianca Belair will take on Asuka, and Becky Lynch beat Asuka tonight, so that means she's added, so triple threat.
So this means the walkout was legit then.
Hooray for freedom through violence!
Wait a minute. They legit did the same match again, just to add Becky Lynch anyways.
Correct!
In
fact, here's the thing. And this is the part where something might be problematic with this.
No, hold on.
Wait, stop. Before you rant, I just need to bring this up. After Sasha and Bianca left, Becky, when they pitched the idea for the main event change, Becky was saying, I don't want to wrestle Bianca yet. Let's save that for a bigger match. Have Asuka fight her.
Yeah, and they put her in there put her there anyway.
So basically, they said, "Oh, Becky, you thought you had creative freedom. Oh,
fuck off with this company. I swear to God, they treat nobody with fucking respect. I swear to God. Hold on. First off, if you were going to do this because you had nobody else and you fucking convinced her to do this, which I highly doubt was without a fight, but it was going to happen regardless, I guess. If you were going to do this anyway, could you have not given Ronda Rousey a dream match opponent and put her with fucking Asuka finally?
I know.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Like,
all that to just get a fucking triple threat anyway.
Wait, now that I realize it, Ronda doesn't even have a match there.
No.
I hate this show. I hate this fucking company. I hate this I hate the fucking WW Fed. Whatever the fuck you want to call. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Plugs. Fucking get to the graphic.
Well, there was another show code we can run through. That's NXT in your house.
I'll let Jeff Meacham take care of that one. We're going straight to the plugs.
We shall plug it.
Plug. Becky Lynch had a Jerry Seinfeld inspired outfit.
Do I care? No. And quite frankly, I'm tired, and I know Owen is too, and I don't want to go to bed. So,
we about had to mention that she was eyeing the 24/7 championship at the same time.
Oh, fuck. Sure she was. Anyway, Owen, you do... actually, I'll do my plugs first. I gotta do my plugs. This is on your channel. I'm stupid. I'm tired. J. Hebertside 95. That's JHEBERT SIDE95. That's in the YouTube URL. That's also... You can search it up, and I'll appear on there. You got your open mic night, and Indie Force, and content and review... soon, the Don DeMarco show will be debuting as well with me and A-Train. And...
Wait. It's not the A-Train that I think it is it?
No, not Albert,
okay.
No. It's Anthony, the guy I tried to get on the show, and both of them were asleep. Let's see. Check me out on the Jeff Meacham Network. You'll see it on my channel anyway, because we stream Open Mic Night and the Watch-Alongs to my channel anyway when I'm on them.
And ATW View.
And check out ATW View. You'll find episodes on Noah's channel and my channel, so go check out Noah Foster's channel as well. That's nfoster1916. You could also check me out on here, but Owen will plug his stuff later. You could also check out soon to be coming back on Casey's channel and my channel, the Button Mashers, where we will be playing games together in a room, whether they're single or multiplayer, just to have some fun. You also can check out the Watch-Alongs on Casey's channel, and specifically retro Watch-Alongs, whether it's movies or wrestling. And you can check out Wrestling with Idiocy, which is a podcast about random wrestling shit that Casey and I like to talk about. So go check out all that. And also, I'd be remiss to not mention, check out Weymouth Youth Wrestling. If I can find the fucking business cards. Here they are. Check out Weymouth Youth Wrestling right here. These are all the URLs right here. Oh shit, I gotta think this through because it's coming out inverted on my end.
Yeah, that's what Discord does.
Okay, you're gonna have to turn this upside down. Okay, right? Cool. I don't think it's gonna matter, now that I think about it. I'm stupid. Anyway, just look up WYW Immortal. You can spell backwards, right? That much? Okay, cool. There you go. Get that shit up. I think we're at 3,000 views, but I have to double check. But still, if we're not, push those views up. Cool. That's it for me.
Okay. Alright, so for me, check out the CM Brothers and Owen the Talking Into channels for past content. Maybe I'll do more content on here. On there anyways, but first I want to focus on just getting content out on this channel just in general anyway. So, and then we have some stuff planned for this channel. We're gonna do if everything works out. The plan is, because this week's a perfect week to do it, to do a retro wrestling review series for Double or Nothing 2019, since this week is the 3-year anniversary of AEW. So
we're definitely doing it this week. I got the graphic all ready to go.
And then we're probably going to do another rundown at some this week too. Aftershock Corner Top 5 Flop Flies should be coming back. I don't know when it's coming back. I wanted to bring it back soon, but with all these pay-per-views coming up, we probably can't bring that back anytime soon, which sucks.
I mean, you still can. You'd have to do it during the weekday or something.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's, but no one's ever available. So
honestly, you might as well just do it yourself.
I might.
Just do it yourself, and then and I'll give you the stuff to edit with it. Or if you want, I definitely could come on the shows, if nobody else is free. So.
That's all I can think of right now because
also on this channel there will be a fantasy booking video, believe it or not. Even though we have a bunch in the can, we're going to be making another one in current day, because with the trios titles impending in AEW, on the fantasy booking series am going to be booking a 32-team Freebird, or not Freebird because that's WWE, Von Erich Classic Tournament.
So can I come on? Can I come on for that?
Yes, you absolutely can. It's your fucking channel. What do you mean? Are you kidding me? I want you to hear it. You might see Eric on here. You might see other people from the ATW View and or Indie Force on here just to hear my booking, because it's just a tournament, and I think that'd be hella fun. Who knows? But with that said, I think that's all.
I'm making an announcement right now. Since we're going to do current fantasies and that doesn't take too long, I have a fantasy I want to do for a while. I want to rebook the WWE Universal Championship, because the WWE before Roman got it, it was pretty shitty, so I want to rebook that. I want to rebook
that.
I want to rebook the title history, and I want to rebook how they did it. So I'm going to rebook the WWE Universal Championship.
Make sure you change the design.
This will be a little bit of when I get to that, I'm just gonna. I think I might have you do that, Paul, because that's more your.
That's fair. Is that everything else on as far as plugs goes for you and I?
Yeah.
Cool. You got to do your catchphrase too. Say talk to you later, right?
Yeah, I mean, we'll just hopefully how about this? I'll talk to you later this week. How about that?
Yeah. Let's try to stay to that. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Wrestling Rundown, right? Make sure, whatever you do, don't forget to floss your teeth. Okay? Okay.
Oh, I forgot.
Fuck, Owen. You gotta floss your teeth. Any closing words, Eric? Real quick.
We're out of week off, 5 days in the bucket. Fuck it, you got a boss who's a jerk who doesn't. Throw on some Wu-Tang, bring the motherfucking ruckus. There is no pretext. We are living and we love it on a budget. Never mind, we just nudge it to the side. Give the kids a little time. We are living till we die. Focused and we hustle, but we still be getting high. No exception to the rule. Do what you do to get by. Cause I keep ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my